Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Waldo2413. I'm live. Hey, what's up, everyone? Hey, what's up, Ramon? Hey, Marnie, how's it going? How's it going, Ramon? Hit the like button, she says. So how is everyone's night going? I don't know if anyone watched, but Michigan State, they had an upset against Florida. Was it U of Miami Hurricanes? So they had an upset against Miami Hurricanes, 4 touchdowns. Very good game. Really good to watch. Sorry, guys. And then Michigan won also. So now we can just get the Lions to win tomorrow. Like Marnie says, go green. We got the green right up there in the background. And just since you brought up green, Marnie, I do have another cool green logo thing for one of my clothing lines. But it's green and yellow, so it's not Eastern Michigan, even though that's Eastern Michigan's colors. But it's for one of my clothing lines. It's a direct-to-film. So kind of the play off the Sesame Street style. So there you go. That is a direct-to-film. Did some videos on direct-to-film. They are coming out this week just because it's been so busy. And no one don't watch swimming. Yeah, it's a playoff Sesame Street, but it ties into, instead of the 1, 2, 3, Detroit is 3, 1, 3, and then it's got the Detroit. Now the cool, are you printing and selling yet? Yes and no. I've been printing. I've been doing a bunch of like trial runs. Matt Grinder was one of the people. We sent some to. We did like just 1 or 2 sheet runs, just because what I'm running into, and it's a thing they all have. I don't know if you paid any attention, but like some of them, your white can always transfer off. I mean, you can do a pixel thing where you actually drop the pixel down, but it's hard to see. Let me see if it's going to even focus. You can see that white along the upper edge right up here. And then at the bottom, it would be missing that white. As you can see, that looks like a black. That's really not black. That is the ink that has no white behind it. And I keep spending lots of time with China. We get it set up. Works perfect for like 2-3 days. I don't do enough prints, and then that shifts. So when I looked at a lot of the other ones, though, that I did send out and have done, they had a lot of the same issues, or they had the issue that their colors weren't correct. So I'm kind of seeing how people like them, seeing how they print. What I've been doing lately too with the prints is I've got the automatic shaker and then the conveyor dryer. But when I've been running some of these other ones, like even like when I did this, it takes almost 8 to 10 feet of material to feed through that whole machine. So what I've been doing is, if I don't, Is this something the buyers notice? Not really, Ramon. That's the thing, is most people don't notice it. Like, if even on this shirt, you probably don't see it. I got one right here though. Sorry. And if you look close on top of the star, you can kind of see it. Hopefully it can focus. So it's not bad, Ramon. Most people never notice it. The stuff that we did for Matt Grinder, I can't say what it is because it's stuff for him. I didn't ask him if I could say it. He might be on here, he might not. If he is, you can ask him if I can at least say what it is. But what I will say, he had a white boundary around the outside, so it didn't matter at all because it's white. But anything that doesn't have a white boundary, like I said, in this, when I press this, especially on this one you are never really going to notice. That's less than a pixel. It's a pixel about out. You're never going to see a pixel because when you screen print, you do chokes that are pixels. And if any of the people that got any of the stuff from that I sent from Goon Life, some of his stuff, he was, depending what shirt I sent you, he does have some that's about a pixel out. When it says, does all the designs have to have a white boundary? No, they don't. But what it is like, for instance, you put white behind it, so that when you press it onto a shirt, if it's on a black shirt here, you get the nice vibrant colors. Because if you don't put the white behind it and you press this, the yellow will literally take, or it'll be transparent. So you will take, it wouldn't be fully transparent. Let me see if I got that paper still. There we go. It won't be fully transparent, but it will be transparent enough. Let me see if this is going to show you guys. Yeah, this is a good example. Okay. So this is CMYK with no color behind it. This was a color swatch. I'm just going to peel it off because this doesn't matter. But you can see the colors here. And so you can see, of course, this isn't even dried. This is just like, transfers can peel off of these. Now, the colors don't. But what I'm going to do, though, see these colors? They look, look, you can see my thumb behind the magenta. So what happens when you throw, and this is just my cell phone, so it's not a black t-shirt, and now you see the color difference? That's what happens if you don't have color behind when you get that. So, for instance, that yellow looks kind of dirty, where the yellow before wasn't dirty. So that's what happens when you don't have anything behind it. So what happens, that one part that doesn't have white behind it, you're not going to see it. It's just going to dissolve into the shirt, because that's what you do when you screen print. You choke your white 1 pixel. That 1 pixel lets you have an outside color, so you don't have to do a butt registration where it's edge to edge. And it can shift a little bit, especially when you're doing long runs, or if you're manual printing and you push and pull. So you choke your ink. Some people do 1 pixel. Some people go up to 7. 7, you do see it, though. Now, I can choke the white a pixel on here, too, to fix that. But if you did something that had to have it right to the edge, then you would lose it. So if I choke the white layer, then you would lose that. If you wrap the image in white, you don't even notice it. So I got some from Wand Transfers, and they had a white boundary. I didn't have the white in it. I didn't like that. Yeah, and that's what it is, Marnie, because what happens, like, here's a good example. Here's a perfect example. And this is from the other company. It's not mine, but here's what everyone does when you're printing your printer. You run strips to make sure the ink's running, and you can see your it's not really color profile, but you've got a blend of colors, and it's a check thing. Look at this white, if it's going to focus. Now, see this side right over here? That white is closer to the border than on this side. And what it is their white's off on here. It's not a lot. And on that print, you might see it, you might not. And here's a good example too. This is one. I had a black border around this. Black, you don't need to have white. So what you can do, and what I did on this, is I choked it 1 pixel. And so you see the black all the way around it, but when you have the front, you don't see it. Now, the thing is, this had a black border. So with black being around it, it doesn't matter anyways. Black's your darkest color. Black on white is going to be black. Black on black is going to be black. So black, that's why a lot of other ones, you can get away with not putting the white behind the black. And I don't have no other transfers here to show you. But you can get away from doing that. Because, like, here's a good example. This black is going to be, it's not going to get any blacker. The only difference is if I put another thing, like I said, you're not going to see any difference. The only time you would is if this wasn't solid. But black is black. You're not going to see around it. The other colors you will. And so, like I said, on this one, you can see the shift of the white. And it's more noticeable here because they have a white border, but it's shift. And so, like I said, there are ways to fix it. You can put, like you just said, Marnie, you can run a black border around something. You can run a white border around it. I don't have another one here. There are people like some of the other stuff I printed has a white border. Some of the other stuff has a black border. You can do that. What I would say too, though, this is where it's been, like I said, what has stopped me from completely selling them all the way yet is because I'm really picky on that stuff. And like you said, you got some that had a small white border, you didn't notice it because you didn't draw it with the white. And that's just it. Like I said, the customer is never going to see that. But the thing is when I'm running it continuous, the paper itself tracks sometimes when it's running. The difference between a dual head or even multiple head, more than 2 heads, is I got 2 print heads in there, and they're not like a standard print head. When you're running it, what a lot of people are doing is they have the CMYK, and then they've got 2 to 4 other channels in one print head. And I don't have a print head here to show you, but we're going to use this as an example. So the print head's all here. So what they do is they print their film out and they bring it back in, and then it runs the white. Well, the head's not able to move because it's in one unit. I have 2 print heads. They're staggered like this. So it prints the color on this print head. This is the color one, and this one's all white. So it's 4 channels of white. This is CMYK, and so it's 8 channels, but it's 2 print heads. So the speed is a lot quicker because it dries it in between there or helps cure it, and then drops the white on top. So that's somewhat the difference. So what happens, though, a little bit like there's dampeners in this head to help it with the speed. So the faster it goes, the more it has a chance to shake or shimmy. And there's set things in there. Well, the problem is if you tighten them up too tight, it needs to be able to move a little bit because it's for acceleration and deceleration. And there's things in the program that I can adjust when I see it being off. And so what I do is I normally adjust it and it brings it right back in. But the problem is once I start doing like customers runs where I'm actually using the conveyor dryer and I'm just letting the stuff run through the rolls, that is when, if it's off, I'm going to see it, and I'm not going to see it till the very end. And it's not, like I said, it's not going to be a major amount off, but it can be off. And that's kind of where some of the things that are stopping me, because like Ramon said, and I think Marnie, you said it too, and then Mara said it too. The thing is most people don't notice it. To be honest with you, most people, like I said, and then if I bring it up, kind of like I just said, then you notice where you had the other one with it. So I'm debating if I'm going to run with it or if I'm going to choke all the white 1 pixel, which would normally correct that. Because the other thing, and as you know from ordering, Marnie, and some of the other people that's ordered them, this is pretty much a color profile. This isn't the best one, but this is a good example of color profile. As you see in there, you don't really have UK blue that a lot of people are used to being here in Kentucky. Or you don't have cardinal red, like the Cardinals colors. And as everyone knows, when you print, and here's a good example, we did these ones for wine. It's not orange, but it's not deep red. It's not it's not as deep as the red on the board back there. It's closer. Now my shirt is a darker red. But what ends up happening, so I should put a black border around my design. Oh yeah, she already said that. Sorry about that, guys. So what it is too is when you're drawing your programs, you should be in CMYK. Because that's what they printed. And because RGB, they give you so many more colors, but they're colors that can't be printed because even on sticker machines and all that, sublimation, everything is CMYK. So like I said, it's not a big issue, but that's what happens. A good example too is like you'll even get from sublimation. This is laser prints here because I got laser printers. The green's different, even though this is the same bananas and pickles. It's different than some of the other ones. And the fun fact, that green was sampled as the same green. A little bit different. Colors can vary from printer to printer and from setup to setup. There are ways to check them and kind of make sure you're getting what you see. But like I said, the thing is like I said, there's a perfect example. I should have showed this one. But the colors are just slightly off, just enough for most people. And it's fairly close. And I had a black border around it because it wasn't because of the white issue, but it was because I want to be able to print these on multiple things, and I needed a thick black border for the if I was putting these on white t-shirts. But you can see the green is even all, and it's correct, but it just shows you like printing on paper and printing on this, printing on sublimation. But that green is not the green that you would see if you opened up RGB. So the other thing, hey Kenny, how's it going? So the other issue is choosing the right colors when you're sending the thing. If you remember, Marnie, like when he had issues with the print head running out on the wand transfers, the gray became like that purple. Which that wasn't your issue on the colors, because after we had the other ones, it was correct. But what ends up happening though with colors is, like I said, some people will send it and they'll be like, hey, I wanted, like, and the yellows come out really nice, by the way, but they'll be like, hey, I wanted that to be forest green, which this wasn't. I picked this green. But the thing is when you go with the colors that aren't in CMYK, and if you're in Photoshop, hey Kelly, how's it going? You have a little icon in the button, and it kind of tells you, it gives you a warning that color can't be printed with the Pantone matchbook if you're in RGB mode. And so if you're designing in that color, keep that in mind, because what will happen if you convert it, then it's going to give whatever colors that pop up on the screen. And it's not totally bad, but some colors, like I said, like the blues, for instance, you're not going to get that blue that you see on that screen, that royal blue, that Kentucky blue. That blue doesn't exist in our CMYK. So that's the other thing. But that's the other thing, Marnie, that's kind of stopping me, is I've got to figure a way to let customers know that it's got to be an RGB. And then the thing too, it's simple to say that, but what it is, if they don't really look close at that photo, I don't want people to be upset when they see the transfers and the colors aren't correct. Kind of like that second order that you got, if you remember, from the wand one, and you gave me a call, the colors were off a bunch. And colors can be off if they were in RGB. And like I said, yours wasn't that. Your issue was his print head, it had a clog in it. So the blue didn't get printed, and so every color changed what came out. But it's kind of like that shock that you got. I want to avoid that with the customers. And so I'm trying to find a way that, and I have software that it can do the simulation just like on all these other programs, so you can see it on the screen. The problem is everyone's screen's not calibrated. So the colors that you see on the screen could be different than this screen I'm in front of right now, or the machine that I printed on. Just because every screen you're going to see a different color. If you're on an Apple compared to a Samsung, like the OLED, and then the other style that they're running, you're going to see a different image. And it might not be off a lot, but you will see slightly different. So that's what I'm kind of battling is, yeah, and that's the best thing, Marnie, is it will print pretty much almost, I wouldn't say spot on, but it will come really close to the Pantones. But now the issue too, I have a Pantone book. My Pantone book Pantone books are supposed to be changed, I want to say every 2 years, so don't quote me on it, but let me double check. I'm going to Google this because they do have a time frame. How often should you change your Pantone books?
Every 12 to 18 months.
12 to 18 months.
This is why we recommend
the Pantone company tells you to change that book every 12 to 18 months. And what happens, like for instance, if your books are sitting outside or in the front window where UV light's getting into them, it's going to fade and change them. So most people do not now full-blown shops like upgrade them all the time. I don't, because very seldom do I have vendors send me where I got a Pantone match. We use the books when we're screen printing. We use the coated book too, because ink has got a gloss tint to it, so you use the coating. But what happens too, let's say they look at an uncoated book, that color that you give is going to be different because it's got a gloss to it. But yeah, I can, like, the Pantone colors will be they'll be within 1 to 2 shades, just because, like, for instance, here's the other thing. The density of white that I put behind this changes what you see up front, because, like, if I go like where I showed you on that yellow earlier, if I don't put no white behind that yellow, if it was on, depending what color white, it could be spot on that Pantone. But let's say I put it on, like a good example. Let me find, I got something right here. This polyester white is different than, I don't have another thing white. Well, let me see no, these are the same whites. If I went with a good example, I don't have no white t-shirt. If you, like, the white can vary on material to material. So if you're relying on the white of the shirt, it's going to vary on each one. The same thing what happens when I do the ink. So if I don't go, let's say 100% on the white ink, then that color is going to vary a little bit compared to if I go 100%. Most of the time I go 100%, but there are things too that the thicker ink you go, you get a little bit more hand feel on the white ink. So sometimes you will drop it back. And like I said, it's kind of personal choice on the feel. When people order, they don't really select or choose, but it just depends on the feel and all that you want. Like for instance, on this image, if you drop the white, let's say to 60% to get that softer feel, this image is almost all white. There's only very few, I gotta look where I'm at. There's only a few spots that got color. So you wouldn't want to do that. Compared to this image, well, it's not the best image, but something like this, there's only white in the middle here. So you could drop it down a little bit. Now you got to remember the colors that are around it and what you're printing it on. So yeah, the Pantone books, they're pretty close. And I use the Pantone numbers. But that's one of the only things too, though. Even what you see on your screen, even though that's that Pantone color, if you have a Pantone book and you hold it up there and it looks off, your monitor is probably not calibrated. There's a way to calibrate monitors. There's a device you can hook up where it calibrates the colors on your screen to what is actually being seen. It's not that simple to do, and it's not super cheap. But it is affordable in a way, I guess you'd say. But it's not going to break the bank. But the problem is probably 99.9% of the people don't even have a calibrated monitor. So what they see on their screen, even in RGB, is not the true RGB. Most people, like for instance, that do sublimation printing, they're probably not using RGB book, because what happens, they can print that out, but if they add more heat, it's going to change the color. If they have less heat, it's going to change the color. A good example is right here, and I did some videos the other day and put some more. We got lots of these now with the bananas pickle coasters. But here's a perfect example. The wood tone of a wood can change the background color. These are both printed the same day, and literally there was, I think, less than 5 seconds of time difference. Get them, there we go. Less than 5 seconds right there. And you can see the difference. This one, super vibrant. This one, really muddy. Now, the wood color does affect it some. This was a slightly darker piece of wood. But that shows you right there. Like, but the other thing, too, is like if you look in the shirt, you see a lot more of the wood grain where the color was more it's not going to focus. It's going to focus on me. But anyways, you see more of the wood in this image because it's more translucent, because just that time was nowhere, just a few seconds went from perfect to not perfect. And like I said, and so if you're using a Pantone book, now if you look, these are two different greens. Same print, same sublimation paper, everything. Just a few seconds difference. And now we've got two different greens, two different browns. Everything would, and I'm sure if you actually map this out, let's say this one was spot on. This might be like, let's say one level down, but every color would be one level down. And like I said, on something like these are just coasters that I did for fun. It doesn't matter. But if you're doing something, let's say for Coca-Cola or Pepsi, you got to be spot on, so it wouldn't cut it. But the thing too with direct to film, I don't think anyone's really printing for these major companies. If they are, I mean, I've heard some people say they are, but in general, it's probably less than 1% of this industry doing that. And they have all their stuff calibrated, because you can calibrate your inks also. The ink that comes out, you hook it up to a device, you print it and put it on, like it checks you press them, it checks what it's out, what it actually visually sees, and then it readjusts your colors to calibrate it so that it has exactly what it should be outputting. Super expensive to do that, but the downside too, even if I, let's say, went and bought that to do that, the thing is if everyone's monitor is not calibrated to what they see, or if everyone's not using Pantone books that are in date, it's not going to help, because someone might see a color that's slightly different than what they received, even though it would be the exact same color. So that's the other issue. Some of it, I overanalyze it, and I'm very picky because I want to put something out that's fail-proof. But even on all these major people, if you go to any of their websites that has reviews, that is probably the number one issue of the reviews. And I dropped my shirt. The number one issue of the reviews is that the colors are off a little bit. And as you learn right away, Marnie, like the reds are the worst. Because most people send them that CMYK red, or the RGB red, and so red everyone grabs. It's that bright red, flag red, and then it comes out looking like this Waldo, an orange color almost, even though, like I said, here's the crazy thing. These lights, depending what hue I've got them at, right now on your guys' screen, it looks almost orange. The label looks a little bit more red, but right in front of me, and I'm looking at it, it has more red. It's not as red as, for instance, this Mountain Dew. This Mountain Dew is like almost blood red, though. If anyone had this pop, it's the Voodoo. I've showed it before. You can compare to what you're seeing on your screen compared to that can, and you'll see the color difference. So like I said, that's one of the things about the color. It's everyone's eyes are seeing things differently. So like I said, there are ways to do it. Like I said, you send the Pantone colors, it's going to be really close to the Pantones. I'm not going to pull my Pantone books out to check, though, on all of it. We've done Pantone checking, and they were fairly close, within 1 to 2 of the colors on there. But the thing is, when people send their images where they have gradients, or if it's made something like this where you don't have green ink, so you're mixing the colors, you could calibrate it over here and it be different than over here. So I don't go that far out into it, just because most things when people print, it's just for looks. They want it to look nice and be kind of close to the colors. They don't care if they're off a little bit. Like I said, these are a perfect example. Most people that we sold these to, and that we do sell them to, they don't care if it's the lighter one or the darker one. And right here, it's hard to see the difference. But up close, this is the darker one. Waldo, will that work with white toner printers? Will what work? Because the white toner printer, Kenny, that is, They're using lasers. So what you're still going to get whatever laser tone they put out, except like my laser printer, I can't adjust the colors. Now I can do color profiles in my Photoshop and I can have it override what it sends to my laser to be the colors. But I am what you're explaining. Yeah, it would work. And there are ways to calibrate even lasers, but usually you're not going to calibrate it at the printer. It's going to be in your software that you're sending to it. Just like if anyone's using like wide format printers, you build a color profile for the media that you're using, because roll media, like let's say you're using a gloss vinyl from Avery to do a vehicle wrap compared to a, man, my mind is drawing a blank on another name, Oracal white or a flat white. That color profile is going to be two different things, even though it's the same amount of ink coming out. So usually what happens, you start building color profiles with different medias to get everything so the image looks the same on all of them. So what you would do is like in your Photoshop, you would build like an ICC profile, color profile, use some of the standard ones, and you would print so that you're happy with what you see and the colors match pretty close to what you're getting. But here's the other thing too, even on laser printers, this is just plain, this one is Walmart paper. Usually I'll use hammer mill paper from International Paper. I print shirts and all that for them. And I use theirs when I do the sublimation videos. They do have a thicker grade. This is the cheapest paper you can buy. Just because I'm throwing them on here and people are ripping into the candy and they don't even care. I have cardstock paper that is the whites, and like too, when you buy paper, you get the white profiles. So what happens if I put this paper in and I put the other paper in, my laser doesn't know the paper. So I have to tell it in my settings what it is so that it can print it out. Bigger profiles in the lasers, they have it to adjust that. But at the end of the day, most people don't go in there like, you guys check out Avalou Printing. He does stickers and all that. And then he's got a Muto huge printer, like massive printer to do like books, binders, and all that stuff. Or if you watch, there's another guy watching. The other guy, all he does is print books, binders, media. He's got 2 or 3 massive laser printers, stapler, good video, but you got to like watching that stuff because it's just literally watching paper fly by is what he does. But he explains too on how it's all calibrated, and he checks it on each one because every time the colors are going to be slightly different. So you have to calibrate it so that the first book's the same as the last book. Nothing went out of whack. And then what they send you as the sample comes out to be what they're getting in the end user. So if you're printing direct to film or even the white toner, like the thing too, that white media, that's like, for instance, you've got different mating medias. You've got like the cheaper one. Hey, Ramon, have a great night. Be safe, Ramon. You have like the cheaper media that sorry guys, I'm trying to keep up reading. I'm a little slow sometimes. Great having you again, Ramon. You have the two parts. So you have the cheaper one and the better one. You will see probably a slight difference in that, even though you're printing the color on there, because the white background is going to change how it comes through there on the black shirts. Most people will never calibrate that. It's kind of one of the things, they'll adjust it on their screen until they get out the output that they like. Because the other thing too, you don't have neon colors unless you put neon inks in. They do have neon toners you can buy, especially in the white toner ones. But when you do that, it changes the color profile to everything because it's got phosphorescence in it that let it glow under the UV light, but it changes everything. So it does apply, Kenny, but most people don't really adjust it. It's the same thing too. Most places that do direct to garment printing, because they're printing on the shirts, what you send them, they print. And most people are content with it. It's not a major difference, but it can be a difference. Like I said, it's one of them things that, like I said, the white here, it doesn't look bad until you put black behind it. And then you can watch now as I bring the black in, and it changes that color big time. You see how dark it gets, or that blue. There's a perfect example. Look at the blue. It's almost royal blue to cyan. So that's the other thing on the amount of white that you put behind something. So it all varies everything. And like I said, in a perfect world, that everyone would see the colors the same and I wouldn't have to worry. But it's not like that. That's why I'm hesitant or a little bit slow on dropping them out. Just because that issue. Like I said, we are having people test some of it, see how they like it. Because the other thing too, on a small run, like let's say when I'm doing some of these other ones, I'm not running that full roll. So I'm not running 6 to 8 feet of media just to print that one Sesame Street one. So what I'm doing when I'm running that, I'm cutting that media off and I'm hand shaking it, hand powdering it, and throwing it through my conveyor on my dryer or in the toaster oven to cure it. Slightly not as consistent as if I run it through the full automated system. Now the conveyor is fine that I run it throughout in the other building or in the other shop. The conveyor will work perfectly fine. The difference is though, if I'm doing, let's say 20 and it's not enough to run through the system and I run it through the conveyor, then I either got to run back and forth or find a way to hold it and powder the whole thing. So that's the other thing. In small batches until it gets up to where I'm running enough of the roll to run it through the roll, you've got to kind of justify if it's worth running it, put it that way. Because like I said, it does change it. It does change the outcome. You get a better consistency. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like this. If someone uses a flash dryer to cure a shirt and someone uses a conveyor, someone uses the heat press. As long as the ink hits the temperatures and times, they usually all hold up about the same. Someone might crack maybe a month earlier than the other one on the life expectancy of it. Some of it might crack a little bit sooner, like I said, or hold up longer. But it's something that you're not going to notice the difference. You will notice the consistency maybe. Like when you powder it by hand, you might get a little bit too much powder or too thick. And so when you flick it off, you might not be flicking off as much. Some of these too, though, that I had samples sent to me, good example right here. On the automated one, they got powder between these lines. Let me see if it will focus. There's powder between them lines. So what happens when something like that happens, and it's so close that you probably couldn't prevent that or avoid that. But what does happen when you have that? Now you're transferring glue to the shirt and you see that as a gloss thing. Or you see that little boundary where some of these people, I don't know if you've had any, Marnie, or not, on the transfers where you see that little glue, you press it again, it's perfectly fine because that glue kind of gets bonded in on that second press. It goes away. Perfect example, fusion prints. Notorious for that. Let me see which one it is. I did a fusion print on one of these. Let's see if it will focus on the camera. See that near the top of that pickle, the little ghosting image right at the curve of it? That is powder glue. It's powder glue is clear, but they had a little extra. This sample one was one of them that was fusion prints, and then the other one was mine we were comparing. And then I lined them up way different. One I put in the center, one I put down below. But the thing too is the amount of glue residue that expands out can be more noticeable if you're not careful also. And like I said, some of it isn't bad. Some of it you never know. But when you do them manually, it tends to be more seen on some of these people's prints. Some of them, they're not as bad. Just depends on how much time and effort they make sitting there flicking off, making sure it's all off. The fusion ones, like I said, that I did that test on, the fusion, even when you hold their prints up, you can see that glue around there. Their shaker, even though they've got an automated shaker, they've got it toned back so it's not knocking as much powder off. The advantage of that is you've got more adhesive on the back. So if you've got really fine detail, it's going to hold that. If you're flicking it so much that you're knocking every grain of powder off, that's your adhesive, so it's not going to bond as good. So there's a fine line in between too much and too little. So some people lean to the more side instead of the less side because at least it's going to hold compared to not holding at all. So that is one of the other things that does happen. Like I said, there is no, I don't have an answer for that, which was better. But like I said, that is one of the other things too, is when we're starting out, I'm debating, because if I only, let's say, get one order in that day, and I'm running, let's say I run my machine every day, then I'm on them, that order, if it's only, let's say, one sheet of like an 8x10, that thing's going to have to be ran manually on the shaker, because it's not enough material to run through there. So that's the other things that I'm kind of debating on right now, is trying to figure out, is people going to be fine with that? Because most people don't look at the back of these things, or if they do, they just see that bumpy, scaly thing and they run with it. But the ones I sent out to Matt and all, check, some of them we intentionally put heavy-handed powder on it. The other ones we put lesser powder. It was just to see how the powder handles and if the customer notices the difference. I can look at them and see the difference because I'm sitting in front of this stuff every day. The customer doesn't really know the difference. So I want to see which ones he thinks held up the best and worked good, which ones were not as good. And that will tell me kind of which way to go on the manual powdering. Because the thing, too, at the end of the day, I do my own test here. I can only print so many shirts for myself. I can only do so many things that way. It's got to be in other people's hands to check. Because, like, for instance, my Temp and Time, I've been using that press forever. That press is spot on. Not everyone's presses are the same. So, that being said, that's why I've been putting it out there. Like you did ask, Marnie, that I plan on hopefully having them within the next week or two for people to order, but I'm still kind of hesitant because, like I said, all them little features. Like I said, most people, if I didn't point that border out, most people would never pay no attention. Everything I send to the people, most people don't even know or don't even pay attention or look. I do those. So that's kind of one of them things that determines, like I said, what I'll do. Like I said, it's hard to say. I wish we had more people on. I'm only showing 3 people tonight, but I do thank all 3 people for showing up. I know Ramon was on earlier. I was hoping it was a glitch. But it's fine. Yeah, it is that low. But yeah, so I hope that helps answer that question. Is there any other questions anyone has, or I'm going to continue, or? And like the red, here's another good example. This is almost a matte sticker from Vega, good friend of mine. It is almost red looking compared to if you look at, this is a gloss sticker he printed, the Google Play button. It's more red. I know that's really not the proper English, but you can see the color difference. For instance, from matte to gloss, and then from probably RGB red to CMYK red. I'll probably order some stuff from you. I'll watch for them and go from the red. Do you put coating over the wood before adding the image to the coaster? Are you talking about the direct-to-film or the sublimation ones, Mara? Because here's what it is, Mara. These ones, this is sublimation. So with the sublimation, and I'll do some more videos, but I've got I think 5 or 6 videos on this. I use laminate pouches to do these. I have tried everything. I have tried the polyurethane and all that, the spray, the brush on. The problem with the polyurethane stuff is, for one, it does work, but you have to wet the surface after and scrub off because it holds the paper. It bonds it to it. You can get that off. It's perfectly fine. The colors look good, but here's the issue. It's night and day on them colors. When you actually look at the polyurethane one and the pouches. These are, like I said, the laminate pouches, and the laminate pouch is way better. Night and day, they destroy the other ones. Yeah, poor man, I've been holding a lot of stuff just because where it's been fluctuating. I'm someone that don't mind holding stuff, poor man. I mean, I've got some pharmaceutical companies that I got in at a good price. It shot up, and then they've been back down. But like I had Moderna before they had the COVID vaccination, and I held on to it. I sold it recently, but I made a hefty profit off of that. So I'm someone that don't mind holding. Poor man. Guys, if you guys want to see some awesome videos on investing, on OMI and all that stuff, check out Poor Man Printing. And then he's got more subscribers than me, guys. He's dominated when he started talking about his stocks and all that stuff, and then OMI and then NFTs and all that stuff. Man, his page went through the moon. I mean, what's McCall say? Fist of Diamonds or Diamond Hands. Yeah, Poor Man stuff's done awesome, guys. So check him out. But yeah, now on the back side, on the ones that I use with the directive films, the video will come out. I don't know when I'm going to drop it. I've got a few different ones. I might drop this one tomorrow. I've had it for a while, so I'll probably drop this one tomorrow since you brought that up. On wood, this stuff holds. It's not coming off. You can feel the texture. It's like a rubbery grip because that's what this stuff is. But here's what I would do. If I was selling this as a coaster and I even put this on here, I would take some urethane spray. You get 2-part epoxy if you want. That's overkill though. But I would take some 2-part spray, or not 2-part spray. I would take some like Minwax spray or whatever. I've been holding for the last 6 months. About time we make some money. I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm just happy. Hey Leonardo, how's it going? I'm just happy like things finally moving up. And like I said, I've always invested in things. And at the end of the day, I mean, I've took some losses on some things, but most of my stuff, as long as you hold something long enough and you don't mind, you make some money. It's just, you got to have the conads to hold it and wait. But what I would do, I would probably polyurethane these after for a few things. If I set this on a table, like where I got a can right here right now, I don't drink cold drink. I got sensitive teeth. Sorry. So like this isn't going to get water, but if I spill something on here, this wood's still going to soak the liquid up. And if I spilled it on the table and I don't coat the bottom of it, it's going to soak it up. So over time, it's going to warp, split. If you're using these plywood blanks, the knockouts, then it's going to definitely delaminate. So I would always spray the sides, get the sides of these so it seals them up. And that will definitely, if you spray that, then it's perfect, good to go. Even on these, if you're doing the sublimation is not UV. It doesn't inhibit UV. Some of the pouches do, some of them don't. Depends which ones you buy. So what I would do is either spray over top and have like a polyurethane. It's not going to yellow, or that's going to prevent. It's a UV inhibitor. Because if not, sublimation ink over time will bleach out. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It takes a while. But over time in years, like the bumpers that people do, the license plates on a vehicle, that's going to fade over time. There's no way to stop that. Resins and all that can help that, but there is no pure, there's no sublimation that doesn't prevent that right now. So I would still coat them when you're done. The other thing too, like I said, if you're putting like cork on the back, yeah, then you're probably fine because that cork's got a barrier and it's holding it off of there. But I would still coat the sides, and I'd probably still just spray the bottom no matter what. But yeah, I would do if you're sublimating laminate pouches, way to go. Take a hot knife. You can run it around that way. Or the easiest thing is This is a ceramic blade, but ceramic blades are rounded. You can get some ceramic ones that are not. This one will cut, but it won't cut on the cut through force. It's kind of like a safety knife thing. But if you take a sharp razor knife, when you laminate this, cut the pouch out and then sublimate it, you can get a clean edge like this one. If you try to use a knife like this, you will get this jagged edge. And in the video, it explains that too. You will get that jagged edge. So, definitely sharp knife, not this. Cut it clean and then sublimate it. Comes out beautiful. If you're using these, because the nice thing about this, and like I said, it's all will be in the video. If you're using the direct to films, you've got white. So the thing is, like where these had the different colors, and you don't have white. So like the Freddy's not a big thing, but here's the one that does matter. Hellraiser's white, or Pinhead from Hellraiser. Sorry about that. Pinhead is white. Right here, he's the color of wood. So it doesn't jump out as much as if it would have been white. So if I would have printed these in white and then pressed them on, it would have night and day difference. It would have game changer. Coat over the top, seal it. It's good to go. Can't go wrong with that. Poor man, do me a favor. I think you still got my email and all that stuff and my Facebook. Send me that logo because I know you do all your stuff. And I want to print you that shirt, man, just because you and me gone back. Your wife buys product all the time. But send me that because I know you have your site, and I'll send you a shirt and send you a few to give out on your lives if you don't mind. And if you're still on here, poor man. But guys, check him out, man, because like I've known him when he started. He's very open to listen. And he's a great guy all around, guys. So check his channel out. If you like beer, he does beer reviews usually before and after the stuff. He's very smart, drives cranes on his phone. So, but and he used to have a fast Mustang at one time, a little bit slower, but he'll get another one soon as this Omi blows up. So, but yeah, poor man, hit me up on that. So which spray? Yeah, I'm using like any you could use clear coat as long as it's got UV. You can use the poly spray. Polyurethane stuff works good by, was it Minwax or Minwell? Polyurethane sprays. Polyacrylic, there you go. You can use the polyurethane or the polyacrylic. I believe the one in the black can does yellow. It will say on the website which one yellows, which ones don't. Minwax Polycrystal Clear. They also have it. So if you wanted a matte finish, throw the matte on there and it gives you that matte finish. So it looks like the wood's not finished. But you can also use like here's some, well, that thing's crazy on that price. They've got other stuff that's cheaper. Like here you go. Krylon matte finish. Like if you want Krylon, you're just wanting a coat to go over the top. So any clear coat that you would put on or a top coat, this rattle can stuff works great. They do have some other ones like in the paint on form. If you're going over something else like that, spray on's the quickest because literally you just stake it up, spray it, good to go. And you can control the area better. When you do the brush on, you're usually going to get brush strokes in it. But like the thing too, you can take this right here. Let me open it up. And you can get it at Walmart. You can get it on Amazon. You can take this right here. This is a matte. So you don't use the matte, but you could if you wanted. Man, sorry about that. You can use this stuff right here. Hit that key thing. You can use this right here and actually spray that onto wood or paint it onto wood. They got it in the brush. Paint it onto wood. You can spray it on there and you can sublimate directly onto that stuff. Your paper will stick, but you can do that. Marnie says, I just sold stickers that were printed on a roll-in, and so I think they will fade, so I need to spray them. Yeah, like you can do that. Normally too, Marnie, the other way to do it is if you're doing stickers, you can get, they have cold laminate, it's called, and you laminate it, but before you cut them out, you put the laminate on top, and that will give it the longevity it needs, and it will actually, because it's UV, it's got a UV inhibitor in that, and it will make it last longer. If not, like solvent inks last a good time outside, but they will fade over time. Solvent inks, Ego solvent, they're both very strong inks. They hold up good, but they will fade. You do need to top coat them, but you'll get 3 or 4 years in direct sunlight before it's really bad. But like you will see it, like if you do without UV coating or having a UV inhibitor on the top, if you print a sticker from 1 year to the next, that sticker, the uncoated one, you're going to see a difference. The color's not going to match. But if you print, if you have the laminate, you might get away within a year. You still might see a little, but not as bad. And that's doing direct sunlight. Where can you get cold laminate? You can get it pretty much anywhere. Because literally, like when people are laminating stickers, like Avery Daniels has it. That's the brand. There's many of them out there. You're always going to want to go a little bit wider than your roll, which is sold that way, and you just trim it up. Cold laminate.
According to Wikipedia, cold roll laminators use a plastic film which is coated with an adhesive and glossy backing which does not adhere.
Cold roll sticker laminate. And depending on your width, like Sign World has it, Sign Warehouse has it, Amazon has it. They have different sizes. Like there's a lot of people that will make stickers with crickets, believe it or not. And then there's nothing wrong against that. But what they'll do is they'll print out of like an inkjet printer. They'll take laminate by just, they've got laminate pouches in a smaller thing. It's not really a pouch, it's the top laminate. They'll laminate it, run it through a laminator. And the only reason you'd want a laminator is just because the air bubble. Because if not, you're going to have to squeegee that whole top. Cold laminator, they got hand crank ones that are a few $100. I showed them the G6 back in the day, and he used one of them to start out with. Then you can get up to the electric ones, which are about $1,000, but that's for like a 48-inch wide, 52-inch wide one. But yeah, anything that is what I'd call print media and it's going to go outside should be laminated. It's personal choice. Some people like, and we've had this debate. The house print, because he's got a printer that I'm looking at getting. Like a lot of your stuff. Any other time I'd have stuff sitting here, but like labels, like beer labels, a good example. Just looking at different things, like the paper on that. Some of them aren't laminated, some of them are, depending on what it is. Like wine bottle ones, usually they're not, because wine bottles you shouldn't have in the sun. It should go in a cooler. Your food stuff, they're not going to put the laminate over it, because that food you're going to eat, throw it away. They're not going to spend that extra money to. And I wish I had that bundle with me, because I have a bundle of stickers for this printer that I was looking at going with. And they have laminated versus unlaminated. But you can kind of see the difference, because you can get matte laminate also. Yeah, Grimco, perfect. Sorry, Marnie, my mind has been drawing a blank. I think, yeah, Grimco, man, they've got it. Just tell them you need some cold laminate for the top of stickers, and they'll know exactly. They'll be able to help you out. Grimco has it, but the roll is wider than my laminator. What you can do also, Marnie, you can, depending on how much wider it is, you can take and cut down that side, put it in a bandsaw. Not the best way, or what you can do is cut off the sheets that you need, and then just before you run it through your laminator, lay it on top, lay it on the table, laminate it, and then trim the excess off, and then that, I guess, defeats the purpose of running it through a laminator. But yeah, like on that though, a good example, I wouldn't use a little, like I've got that, can't see it. I got a sheet laminator over there, a Scott's, that's a hot laminator actually. Don't use a hot laminator on cold laminate. But what you could do is lay it out, squeegee it out where it looks like you got it fairly good, and then just trim the side. Yeah, I was gonna say, or just cut the sheets down and then stack them where it fits at, and then run it through the laminator. There's a few. I mean, there's a lot of ways I can think to do it. I'm just trying to think of the quickest, easiest way. When I'm in the new shop, what I will do is I'm going to build a lamination table. What's up, Bad Brad? That works on linear rails. Normally, if you were to buy one with that, they're $10,000 table, $8,000 to $10,000. I'll show you guys how to make one for right around $1,000 to $1,500, depending on how much extra features you want. Because there's ways to put it where it's all pneumatic, so that the pneumatic close down, and there's a way to make it crank. I'll have the pneumatic one on mine just because it's what I'm going to use. But you can do it both ways, and I will show you and explain that. That one won't be for a little while though, but I will explain that. And that way, when you do a big table like that, you're not limited by your laminator, because you can, whatever size table you're going to use. Now the difference is you'd be limited. Sorry, American language kind of gets me. Yeah, the small crank ones. Okay, yeah. Yeah, the crank ones, Marnie, actually they work good to start. And literally the table that I'm talking about, the automated one, I've actually built them using the crank ones and just retrofit it to the table and use a pneumatic press to press them down. Takes a little modifications to them, but it makes it where you can use a flat table, so you can do whatever size table you want to build. So if you're building like a 4x8 table, a 4x10 table, so let's say you're doing a bunch of yard signs and you're doing cut vinyl and you're going to just put it on the sheet and trim them up after, you can use this big thing to actually sticker the whole board. Or if you're stickering coroplast signs, let's say you don't have a flatbed printer and you're doing full color coroplast signs for elections or someone's lawn service and it's a full color print, you can have someone print that big sticker, throw it on there, and then just trim them down, and now you've got it ran that way. So yeah, there are multiple ways to do them, but yeah, I would go with the lamination. The other thing too, ask Grimco. They can get smaller sizes. Ask if they can get it for you, and just get the roll that will fit your laminator. They should have it, or ask them, hey, is there a way you guys can cut it down and either scrap the other side or keep that and use it for that. It won't be the cleanest edge, but you're not using the edge. You're only using the part covering your stickers. So there are ways to do it. My one friend had a smaller roll-in, and literally that's what they would do. The place that he'd buy his vinyl from, they would literally cut that stuff. Hey, Michelle, how's it going? So like I said, you can cut it. It's not simple. If you don't have stuff, don't use a water on the cut because you don't want fluid to get into the laminate. It kind of defeats the purpose. But some of them will have places. I don't remember if Nashville has it set up to do it, but there are places that can cut that for you. But check with them. The other thing, if they don't, check with the Mamaki guys there and ask them where you could get it pre-cut to the width you need. They will be able to help you. They might even be able to do it for you. They got some stuff there, but they should be able to help you out. Marnie, like I said, they're fairly good. So give them a try. I could saw it off. Yeah, you can do that. Literally, like I said, that's kind of when my friend first started his, he literally cut off the other end, and just straight down with like a hacksaw, and it was good enough for him to get through there, and it fed through the thing, and it will work. It's not the nicest looking, but see, when you're just laminating, it doesn't care what that looks like because you're not printing on top of that. You're just using it as that top coat. So it's going to seal. It's going to run through your laminator. And at the end of the day, it works. So I would run with it that way. That's just me. Like I said, it gets you going. And then once you eventually get everything up and running good, then step up and get the little bit wider one. I'm someone, there's no need to always upgrade things just to have the biggest, baddest, or best things. Sometimes run with what you got. And get it built up. Once you get to the level where you can get something else and you've made your money back on it, yeah, then upgrade. But I wouldn't upgrade until you need it. Because like I said, that way will work perfect. I know people that are still hand cranking the hand crank ones that are still doing it. I know people don't even have laminator top. They're literally laying around the table squeegeeing them. Can you see that? Somewhat, but a guy's been in business 15 plus years. He used to do all the backup stuff when I'd be running behind. I'd send him stuff. Usually I'd send him stuff that we didn't need laminated because you could see a little bit. Sometimes he didn't get as good a squeegee, but in general, it worked. And he's got a contract where he does a lot of the real estate companies here. So they're not complaining. It's working. So yeah, you can get it. You shouldn't have too many issues, Marnie. Just let me know. Hey, Levi Apparel, how's it going? Hey, guys, that's another good channel to go check out. Check out Levi Apparel, guys. He's got some good content. He serves the country. I know he's at boot camp. In his last video, he had to go back to camp, the training. So I'm sure he's not there now because he commented. But he's also, guys, like where people are asking about the Racoma embroidery machines. He's actually got one. He had the video of him and the son bringing it in. And then I don't remember if I seen him placing it in the room, but I know it's in the room. It's in the direct in there, guys. He's got the manual press around there, the blue press. So check him out, guys. Good content, good guy. Watch his videos, guys. Like, subscribe, and follow him. I like pushing everyone that's got channels on here. Hey, Jesse, I forgot to say hi to you earlier. Sorry about that. And bad, Brad, if I forgot you. But yeah, if anyone's got a channel, like I said, hit Poor Man up, man. If you want to see about investing in good NFTs and all that stuff, Omi stuff, man, he does great videos on it. He used to screen print, guys. Also got a Mustang. He operates cranes. So, awesome guy, man. I don't even think he's still on here, but check him out, guys, too, if you're into that stuff. Like I said, everyone's got different things they like. Everyone teaches differently. Levi Apparel is going to teach differently than I am, and I'm going to teach different than him. You can always learn from everyone, though, guys. And so check him out, guys. I mean, you always find interesting things. One of the cool things he did, guys, where he converted the direct-to-film printers, what he did on the one, instead of having to do, like, if he's printing on white, he did one printer that's only printing. So he got away with a lot of savings because instead of having to buy a 6 or an 8 head printer, he went with a 4 head printer. He had CMYK printed on there, put the powder and all that on, and he has that in the video. So, like I said, you can learn a lot from everyone. Just check everyone's stuff out, guys. Hope that helps, Levi Apparel. Like I said, guys, he's real cool video, real cool cat. The print house, check him out. He posted a video. I know he lost his father a few weeks back, guys. So check him out. Like I said, check everyone out. And like I said, I like literally almost everyone that has subscribed to mine. If they have a channel at that time, I do try to check their channel out, try to subscribe. Sometimes I forget because like the downside, like right now, when I'm using StreamYard, it won't let me click. If I'm in the normal player, I can right click, open yours up, and then click on it after subscribe. But in StreamYard, it doesn't let me do that. StreamYard doesn't let me add mods on here. So if someone says something, which it has happened before, then I kind of backstepping real quick and trying to open up another blogger or hoping I have someone that's a moderator on there at this time because I can't edit it from here and the stuff will get through. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen it before. I do try my best, but like I said, I have no control over that. Levi said, learn how to convert direct to film from you. Thank you so much. Yeah, like I said, like he said he learned, but like I said, I learned so much from these other people, guys. Like I said, I thought it was cool. Like in all the times that I've done printing like that, I never really thought to go with the 4-color printer to do direct to film if you're only doing white shirts or gray shirts like the Heather Grays. Never thought about that. Never slipped my mind once. When my direct to film or my direct to garment printer, sorry about that. My direct to garment printer went down. Literally, we just used it for white t-shirts only. So we were only using a 4 print head on, even though we had the 2 other channels. But when the direct to film came out, it never dawned on me, hey, you can use 4 channels to do that. And literally, so now he's creating a transfer for a white t-shirt or a gray t-shirt, and white ink is your money ink. That ink costs a lot more money. There's a case over there of white ink, liter inks, which are quite a bit of money. There's close to $5,000 of ink sitting there just in that right there. At the shop, I got a lot more. That ink's not cheap. So if you can avoid doing that and it's a white t-shirt, yeah, that works perfect. Like I said, because that's more money you're putting in your pocket. And then to convert a printer too, now you're going with a cheaper printer. You're not stuck with that huge print bill that you would have if it was running the white ink. And like I said, if you don't need it, you can get a softer feel because that's one less layer of ink. So check it out, guys. The video is really good. He explains, like I said, how to convert them also. The inks and all that stuff. There's different inks, different powders. I know I've tried some of the stuff that people are using now. I never cared for, but I just had bad luck with them. They kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, but there's some of these companies are still good. Other people are using them and having better success with them. Some of it was they've started it. Like I tested their stuff when they first came out. So on some of that powder, like I said, some of it's better than others. That's like the dark powder, the black powder. I don't really use it much anymore just because I don't find a need for it. It does have other bonding agents and all that, but to carry 4 or 5 different powders, I think that's overkill. I just kind of stick with my general powder. It seems to work for 90% of the stuff. Is there points to use the other one? Yes. But like too, they also got coarse, medium, and fine. And even when you talk to them guys, they're like, hey, no one really uses this one. Everyone only uses this one. Then why carry it? Or why manufacture it? If you don't have a true answer for it, I don't like that. You're just kind of flooding the market with more stuff. And what happens, someone gets the wrong mix of it, and then they don't have good results, so then they don't like your product. So that's why I'm kind of picky on. But that's like what I was saying too on the direct to film. I do all the testing because I'm picky, and what I see someone else might not see as a problem, but I do. So I'm going to spend that time to kind of nitpick my own stuff so that I don't hear it from other people, hopefully. Like I said, that's why some of the products aren't out right now that we do have, just because we're still testing things. Like I said, I've had the direct film printer pretty much December, January timeframe, and still I'm not selling them yet. Just because it took me that long to get everything where I feel comfortable with it. But like I said, everyone is different. Everyone finds different results on it. So, and like I said, I do think it is a very important thing in the industry. Converting my 7710 direct to film was my favorite video. Yeah, guys, like I said, he does a video on it. Very good video, guys. Check it out if you guys haven't already. But like I said, that was the heat press drying or cooling off. One of the bolts I got was a little loose. And when you heat it something and then cool it, you have stretching of metals and it pops. That's what it does. Kind of caught me off guard there. But yeah, like the crazy thing, so I don't even know where it's at. I think I pitched it out. I did a video, guys, on the tiles that I've told you guys I would do. And the problem was I've peeled that direct to film off that tile probably about 5-10 times already. Well, during the video that I was showing for you guys, because I've made a bunch of them, and then I always have one test one, and I kept showing people here. Well, I cranked the pressure down just a little too much, and that tile, you can heat and cool tile so much and put so much pressure if you don't have it braced good. I snapped the tile in half. during the video. So that video will be coming out. Yeah, I get scared pretty easy on things. I grew up in Detroit, so you got to be jumpy. But yeah, it was just something. I hear a pop and grab my knife. I'm ready to go. but yeah, and so in that video will be out. I'll try to put that out next week because you can sublimate. The nice thing with this direct to film stuff, guys, like there's not many things I haven't bonded it to. Like a tile is crazy. I mean, hard, slick surface. It holds. Even when it cracked, I'm holding the tile together with the direct to film until I cut it. And then, like, the hardest thing is on a tile is you got to let it cool a bunch. If you peel it hot, which I did, it will lift in a little spot. But you can get it to bond and hold the tiles. If you do a tile, though, that's the only thing I would say, clear coat them. Tiles are notorious for that issue if you don't. Levitt Apparel, what's your channel? Leonardo, his channel's Levi Apparel, because the thing too is everyone's name that's on there would be their channel name. Unless they created just one just to comment and created another channel of that. Then, like, for instance, I have another channel when I first started YouTube is my real name, Robert Ashley. Don't put anything on it, and this is the only channel I actually use now. But I did have another one under that. But whatever you see on the right over there, in that dark black, the bold, if you right-click that, and I wouldn't say right-click and open in a new window, because if you do, you're going to lose my channel. But, hey, that's fine. Come back to me. But if you copy that and then open new window on the tab bar, and then go to YouTube and then type their name or paste that in there, that will be his channel. You can find him that way. That whatever pops up there would be their same. Like Marnie's would be Marnie Harris. It wouldn't be YouTube / because they use numbers and all that. But if you cut and pasted whoever's name there, like Levi Apparel, cut and paste that in there, and that will take you right to their channel. So if someone misspelled that, it's gonna, if they misspell their own name, because that happened in Goon Life's video, when he printed the cards the other day or last night, the guy misspelled his shop name on his YouTube name, and so he can go back and change it, but the sublink that he had will be different. So Goon Life printed the incorrect name so that they could find him, because he had it incorrect, so he wouldn't be found. Hey, Patty B, how's it going? Mara says, in my hood, you hear a pop and you got to drop to the floor. Yeah, like I said, I grew up in the Detroit area, and that's kind of like it is. So noises kind of just at least get me to look. It's easier to jump and be scared than it is not to move and something hits you. So I search but don't see it. Let me do this, Leonardo. I'm going to open up another window. And by me doing this, what I'm going to do, I'm still on my channel, so it ain't going to affect me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do it this way. Why am I not finding him either? I see what you're saying because he's in my thing. So let me do this then. I don't know why he's not pulling up when I probably misspelled it on my screen because I'm not looking at the screen. FGH. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do for you. Hey, Lily, how's it going? Yeah, Ramon was on here. Here, Leonardo. Hopefully it posts that link. That's a link to his page. So hopefully that will find him. Do you work? Do you work today? Conrad. Did you work today, Lily? Yes, so full, Ramon. Didn't Ramon hop off here, Lily? Well, Patty, you have to share which one you're using. Let me see what Patty said. I missed that too. I got the laminate pouches, hoping to try them out tomorrow. Yeah, literally. I don't have the box here. I am so sorry. I do have a link down below. I use literally, you can go, Walmart has them. Buy the cheap ones at Walmart. Make sure they're the laminate pouches. I've also used the Scott brand, the 3M ones. They work good too. They're just a little bit more expensive. The link that I have on my website or down below, I don't know if it's still active. They're always changing it. The link on that one, but that's probably one of the best deals I found, and they work pretty good. It's just like their own brand of them. But yeah, the laminate pouches, pull them apart so that you can use both sides because both sides will work. I wish I. Oh, I had some more here. Oh yeah, right here they are. Here's the. This is the Walmart brand. That's the 3mm. You can go the 1.5mm also. They work great. Mike the Entrepreneur. Guys, check Mike out too. He dropped a slew of videos unboxing all the He-Man stuff. Every character he's got, he did an unboxing on them, guys. And they're not long, guys. They're all like I don't know what it's called on YouTube, them shorts. Oh, they're called shorts. Like I got on there. My blue shorts. But it's okay. Y'all can tell him what I said. I mean, can text him too. I'll tell him, Lily. Yeah, Patty, the Scott brand, like that's the other ones I use. I've used them both. I bought them also to show people how the cheap ones worked. That because them things are everyone's got a Walmart in almost every area or country. Walmart does carry the Scott ones. The last time I was in there, though, my local one was out, and that's why I even bought them. And then I ended up getting more. The Scotts were great, though. Most of these were done with Scotts, and then that link that I do have was the other ones I've used. I bought all the ones I've tried. Yeah, the Amazon ones are like, yeah, a lot. I want to say cheaper. That's 12. Yeah, that's 12 cents. For that. So yeah, that's 12 cents a pouch. And then here's the thing, you break that pouch in half because you only need one side. So now you're at 6 cents a pouch. So it costs 6 cents for a sheet of laminate pouch. And so like on a tumbler, you can fit 6, or not a tumbler, on a coaster this size. This is, I want to say, a 3-inch coaster when I cut them. Because they were for cupcakes. We had cupcakes that were this big. We had the jumbo cupcakes, and when I used to sell them. So, but I could fit 6 of them on here. So yeah. So then when you factor that price into that, 6 cents, and then there's 6 of them in there. That's a penny. It cost me a penny to laminate that. That is cheaper than the spray. Can't beat it. So yeah, definitely do that. Hey Mike, did you unbox the Shira too? She was asking. I just text him the fight is gonna get started. You got it, Lily. Kick him in his no-nos. Werewolf's got nards. Cool, thanks, man. First, you helped me with the DTF conversion. Now you help me grow the channel. Yeah, hey, no problem, Levi, man. It's what people should do. I don't mind helping anyone, man. Like I said, guys, hit Mike up too, man. Mike's got, like, I love watching his toy. He's Canadian, eh? But my grandparents, great-grandparents were Canadian, so I like Canada also, guys. It's cool. Mike's from there. Mike's got a bunch of cool stuff, guys, too. Check him out. Lily's supposed to be dropping a video soon. So, yeah, check that out. I ain't got much boxing tips, Lily. Like, I got that messed up wrist. I can't tell you nothing. Just do like Muhammad Ali if it gets rope a dope. Just get against them ropes and make them wear themselves out. But I do have something, guys, that came to me. I can't show you front because I can't show you. I can show you my name. Someone sent me a thing today. Came from Delaware. It's from Harry. No, he didn't send me pure silk. I don't need shaving cream for my legs or my nether regions. It's a gift he sent me. That's a video too, guys. I'll be unboxing that in the video so that the video gets its own airtime or whatever you want to call it. So that will be on one of the videos coming up when I hop off here because it came today, so I'm going to open it up. He sent me the photo of what it was because he asked me, do I have any of it or do I keep it? But keep an eye out on that. That's a video. The other thing, too, I've had a bunch of videos, too, on my nephew. I let him come visit me, and he likes doing the video thing. So, like, we did a bunch of videos. That candy that Vega sent me, I did a video of him trying. He never even tried Hispanic candy, Mexican candy, and I didn't tell him it was hot or cold or spicy, anything. So he ate that candy, and it warmed him up. The other one he just about threw up. Kind of, he handled it better than me because he likes spicy things. The hot one he said wasn't hot. He said it had a little warmth to it. He said it kind of felt sour, tasted sour. My taste buds are different. My taste buds burnt. And so, yeah, that was no for me. But so I got that video. I got a bunch of little small random videos coming out. Like I said, we do got the shattered tile that I broke. That video's out. And you can see the actual glue still, guys. It held this thing up and everything. The direct-to-films will hold on that. It is on there. And that's without me sealing it or pre-treating the surface. So if you do that, if you pre-treat it, you seal it after, and that stuff will hold. It's pretty awesome stuff. And like I said, the cost, how cheap direct-to-films are for the sheets, I mean, you're talking like change to do stuff like that. Sublimation, guys, do that sublimation too. That's literally, we just did the math, and it's changed to do that sublimation with them pouches, and you can put that on anything. I did that. Falling. Fat man down. I did that big block of wood. This was a laminate pouch. The only thing, like I said, guys, check and make sure you don't have the Nile River crease in that board. That's a crease. That board was horrible. That was a bad board. But that was a photo I didn't. You can see I got dust on this already, guys. This thing's fingerprinted up. But minus, and this was a defect in the wood. This is not the laminate's fault. But like I said, I just took a standard Hobby Lobby board blank. Super cheap. You use that half off coupon thing, get it half off, and then have 6 people with you and have them all buy it, or 5 people, or you got kids, have them all go online and buy something with the half off thing, so you're only paying half off. I trimmed the edges good. You don't even see the edge. But yeah, you can sublimate anything. And like I said, it looks like it's right on the wood. And like I said, that would have been better if it wouldn't have been the issue with the wood. It's a bad piece of wood. But like I said, and these are the same images. And this is a sublimation metal I have, but that just shows you how the image looked on wood with the pouches. But you can put them pouches on anything. You could have it stick to the metal if you wanted, and just find some sheet metal yourself without actually having laminating metal. With the sublimation on this stuff already. There's another one everyone's seen. Some Yoda. And then the city again on a reflective one, the glitter. So you can see kind of the stuff you can create. Like I said, this is the wood, guys. Just throw a laminate pouch on it. Throw it on, and like I said, this was on just a wood color so that you don't get the whites, but it still looks white. The other thing, if you want the white look, spray the wood white, and I explained that in the other video. I actually do that on the this last Christmas or the Christmas before. I did that. It's when I unboxed the Epson 15000. I actually showed how to do that. But literally use high temp paint or test your white paint before, because you are heating it up to about 400 degrees. You can get some yellowing on some of the cheaper paint. But I found some decent paint later on besides the high temp paint that was only like $3 a can, and that stuff doesn't yellow and works good. Where did you get that wood? This piece of wood, are you talking about, Patty? This piece of wood came from Hobby Lobby. We have a Hobby Lobby here, and literally they do, you go online, they give you like a 50 to 60% off one item. And so literally you can go there, and like, well, I do it all the time. I'll buy like just this piece of wood, and this at this time, and they have different, and they also run sales on the stuff too. But this time it was in the crafting section. It's got the hangers and all that. It's $8.99, so I paid $4 for that. But yeah, Hobby Lobby. But they also, the awesome thing, which we're getting to Christmas time, the metal things that I sublimate. Did they quit? I don't know if they, now that you said that, I got to check that. I thought they still did it. Hobby Lobby coupons. I know AutoZone quit the, actually, no, they actually, well, this one says it, they gave me it, but this is out at a different website. Let me check their weekly ad. They might not, we don't have coupons for Hobby Lobby in the Cali. Oh, well, what they do too, though, is they will have stuff like this, and they're like where they're, this is on their, let me make sure. Okay, this is in their, on their website actually. So anything in the home decorations, 50% off. So if you see that wooden tile decorator plaques, this is a wooden tile decorator plaque. So right now, these are actually 50% off. They should be paying me money for promoting them. I don't get a dime from them. Yarn is 30% off. So yeah, catch it on their website too when they run it. I'm trying to see what else they have. And then this place, though, is still telling me they got coupons too. But like I said, it's kind of hit and miss, because I know a lot of companies are getting rid of that. We should check out Home Depot wood scrap box. Yeah. The other thing too, guys, like where Lily was asking before about one of them cheap lasers. Here's the awesome thing. What about the metal? The metal, that sublimation metal, I saw it on my website. You can get metal from, what I was saying too, it's too long for me to run upstairs and in the room. I can't run with my ankles anymore. But if you go back, and I will have them on here next week. If you go back and watch that video I did, it looks like I don't even have a pen. This is crazy. One of my desk things, and I don't have pens or paper here. Let me glance and see if I can find one to draw the shape. Well, let me do. Learning to use my phone. It is not letting me draw. But there are the ones. This is stupid. My old one used to let me draw on anything. What is up, Rye? Oh crap, you again? Yeah, I know. We did good until the Asians invaded us just now. But on the I'm not finding a stupid pen. Here's the nice thing. These are thermal. So let me see if I can create enough heat. Lily, I know, love that dog. She was crazy earlier. She like rolled over and just flopped on her back. And stayed there because she wanted to be her back rubbed. But yeah, she's crazy. And then I was on the tractor earlier. This is drawn with a knife, so please forgive my artwork. And literally, like, it's got a bucket on my tractor and all that stuff. And she's really weird. Like, on certain things, she'll go after. She literally went and grabbed the front of the tractor, the bucket, like if she was going to bite it and flip it. Finally, I told her to stop, and then she hopped up on the tractor and just sat with me on my foot pedals. But yeah, she's just crazy. Here's the shape, and it's not even going to show it. See that shape? It's like a greeting card shape. They have them at Hobby Lobby. It is galvanized metal, so just understand galvanized. When you heat it up too much, it does give off a gas that is not good to breathe. Sublimating it, you're not really doing that. But you take that shape, and what you can do is you can either sublimate on it. And in that video, I showed you guys how to do this. I put just a laminate over top, and with that galvanized, it gives it that old retro look, like the old barn door stuff. And it's really cool. Well, if you don't want that look, spray paint them white and put that on there. But it's little pieces of metal. Literally, them things are $3 for 50 of them at Walmart. So what you can do, guys, is make them and then literally sell them as like Christmas things, so you can put photos on it. So you can make them as Christmas ornaments, guys. They work great. We want the dog. We want the dog. Hello, Asian persuasion. Look, I got it right for once. It's about time your monitors show. I know. You get a moderator and they don't even show up. You didn't read my comment before about your F. Oh, there we go. Oh, did you say that out loud? Oh, well. Did I say the F word? Fun? I mean, no. I didn't know if I said that or not. I just can't believe I don't have pens here. Like in every room in this house, there's usually 5 pens And this one, I used to have one sitting right next to it. And it, with the crazy thing, this crazy keyboard I have, it's got magnets on everything, and it would always stick to it, and it's not stuck here. So I don't know where the pen went. That was here. It was a metal pen. Just finished. Lily was going to go live, but then I saw this fool's on. Yeah, I was going to go live. He went live yesterday. Let's start this. He went live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What day didn't Rye go live? Nah, but yeah, Rye's cool, guys. Check him out. Check Rye out too, guys. I plugged everyone else tonight. I might as well plug the Asian Persuasion. He does a Twitch thing also, guys. Not on live. Well, it's a live Twitch because it's Twitch. But he also does a DJing live, guys. So if you like watching music, check him out on his Twitch link. Because he can't do the lives on here. He'll get thrown in YouTube jail. And you know what happens in jail to someone like him. He don't come out the same. That's all I'm going to say. Hobby Lobby pay this man already. Yeah, no. Hobby Lobby, where's my kickback? They don't give me anything. The galvanize at Walmart. No, Patty, it's at Walmart. Or sorry, not. I mean, it's at Hobby Lobby also. It is. I will give you the model number. Hobby Lobby metal name tags. It's actually galvanized. So let me see if it pulls up. Right here it is. That's what they look like. And I'm going to give you the model number so you can actually put it in your phone. So when you go there, look, $3.99 for 50, man. What better way to make sublimation things? So you're getting 50. Man, my phone, stop focusing on me. So the SKU number is 1. I'll type it in my thing. Yeah, check me out. I work out. Yeah, he works out. Yeah, he had his calves on display the other day, man. He was rocking some 1846633. This is the SKU number right there, but I'm going to put it on the screen also. As long as it will take, there you go. That's the SKU number. So hopefully, yeah, the one before that one, I saw that for sure. That was your ankle. That was probably going to upstairs, that donut. Yeah. Yeah, I've snapped both ankles. The first one I snapped, like I think I've told everyone before, but I was a licensed piercer. I pretty good at putting holes in people. But we bought an OBGYN chair. So I'm sure the ladies know what them chairs are. I'm sure Rye does. No, but it's like a 400, 500-pound chair with the it's hydraulics actually, the up, down, left, right, AB things. It pivots in every direction. So we bought one for the tattoo shop to do tattooing on, and then also to do piercings. We had an old barber chair too. We use hydraulic ones. Barber chairs and dental chairs are great chairs. You see them in the tattoo shops. But anyways, so they bought that. Well, we had to go pick it up, and I was kind of slow that day because I got there. I wouldn't be say I was the last one there, but we were just slow anyways on the piercings. So I was like, sure, I'll go grab it. And I wasn't really scheduled to do any piercings till later. So then anyways, I get over there. The lady's like 100 pounds wet, said she moved it over. And so like I wasn't going to be upstage. So I'm driving a dually 350. I get it in the back. I got it lifted up and in the back. I started to push it forward. And literally I was using my weight leveraging. I lifted correct, lifted with my legs and all that. It lifted everything correct, was pushing it forward, and then it was a loud snap in my ankle snap. The attendant did, and it dropped me down to the thing. We called an ambulance, and they said they were going to have to take me back to the town anyways. So what I did is I didn't get the tailgate closed, so I asked them, could they help me push it the rest of the way, and then could you bandage my ankle up so it would be held in the normal position? Because when it snaps, your leg doesn't move anymore, or your foot doesn't move anymore, and you really can't put pressure on it. It's very painful. But I asked, could they bandage my ankle up, and I would drive myself back because I didn't want to leave the vehicle there. I was about 30 minutes out of town. And either way, they were going to take me back to the town I was from to do the doctors. That was the nearest hospital. So they bandaged my right leg up. So I had to drive left-footed the whole way back and then like kind of cross body because I couldn't, that foot couldn't function. I couldn't use it as a pedal. So I drove all the way back, went to the ER, and they did the scans and all that on it and figured it was snapped. So they scheduled for surgery. The other one, it was on the bees. I have that video on here too. You can watch me snap. It's only a 19-second video. It didn't take long. I was so fast with my moves that I went to move and run from bees because I'm allergic to them. And I moved, my ankle didn't. And long story short, kapow, surgery. So yeah, both of my ankles are repaired. What they do is they either trim the ends off because it fragments and blows up into pieces and re-jams it back together and you suture it. My one, we've got cadaver piece in there, not cadaver chocolate, a dead person's piece put in there to fill the gap up, and then it's just all sutured up. That's the only thing they can do is sew the crap out of it. It's the only way to get your leg to bond back together. Hey, Matt Grinder, what's up? So yeah, long story short, they that's the only way to fix it. 6 months to a year before you're kind of back. But like sports athletes forever, for instance, like Kobe and all that, when he came back, you're only about 80% like of your performance. So if you look at anyone's like Kobe and all that, their numbers, they dropped about 80% of what they were when you return from it, just because you don't have as good as movement. No matter what you do, it will always be a little bit weaker than what it was before. Downside, I got both of them done. And the weird thing is, like when I walk downstairs now where people go left, right, I can go up the stairs, right, left. Coming down them, I got to step left foot. I can't go left, right. It's weird. Went through therapy, but I can't get the weight balance right on it. And so my body doesn't let me walk that way. So long story short, eat healthy and don't snap your ankles. But yeah, so now I got, and then like even when I talked to the doctor that did it, I was like, how many people snapped them both? He's like, only old people or some random thing like a major wreck or something like that. He's like, I haven't met many. I was the only one that he's ever sutured on that's had both of them snapped. So I guess that's good. But like the hospital, I mean, everyone's seen the videos. I've done the videos for the hospital that treated me and all that. I did the commercials for them. I'm in magazines around there. It's a big chain hospital, so I'm in all their stuff. But anyways, I was in the thing. So it was kind of funny when I went back the second time, they still had my posters running. It's about 3 years apart. And so inside that building or in the walls, elevators and all that, there's still the posters of me from the first surgery where I did the commercials, ads, and media stuff, I guess you'd say. So even when I'm in there, people keeps looking, doing that double look when you're in an elevator. They're like, is that you? So yeah, but they don't give you no discounts for that. But the anesthesiologist, he remembered me also. So it's kind of funny because he knew I had bees. And then when he knew that I snapped my ankle doing the bees the second time, he thought it was funny because he remembered the first time. And yes, I didn't have no cool stories. It wasn't no bar fight protecting Rye from a band of midgets or anything like that. It was just walking and snapping them or pushing a chair into the back of a truck. But hey, Rye, don't look like you work out very hard. Look, guys, Rye works out. He's got probably the strongest jaw muscle from jabbing his jaws. I mean, like temp and time on the metal. On that, Patty, you've got to put the laminate on them. Laminate. Don't quote me on this because it's been a few days, put it that way, since I've done the thing. It's like 220 on the laminate. Kind of check what the pouch temp says, but it's about 220 for like 15 seconds. You just want it to bond because what happens when you sublimate it, you're going to put more heat and time into it. The metal, I would sublimate it just like any other metal thing. So I would do, don't go 400 because then you start getting the weird marks. Do about like 375, 380 for right around a minute. Check it. If you seem like it needs a little bit more time, go maybe a minute 10, minute 15. But yeah, go around that range, like 375 to 380. I tend to personally have better luck with that range. I have done these at 400. That does work too. But you got to watch your temp and time because you can get a darker finish really quick. So watch your temp and time on that. And it should work out good for you. But the nice thing too, if you go with them galvanized ones, literally $3.99. It's I think for 50 of them, they've got that twine tied on top of them, or twill, whatever you want to call it, twine, twill, that brown stuff and each one has that. Why is this not on doing the zoom? There we go. Each one has that. So take that off and reuse it because it looks cool. It fits the vintage thing, especially if you're using them for ornaments. And yeah, people eat them up, man. It's especially if you do the vintage ones and you're doing like vintage items, like the old Santa photos where they look vintage anyways. When you have that galvanized look in the background, it's pretty spot on. And then you get that high reflective look because galvanized too, it looks like scales because it's just the plating on there. But you get a very nice finish, a very cool finish with it. So yeah, just tease Rye makes dope videos. He should do some on workout. Man, look, Rye can curl some donuts. Like, don't let him lie about doing a donut challenge. I seen him curl a lot of food that I sent him. I think the only thing I sent him a healthy snack food. That was the only thing he probably didn't demolish quick. His body wasn't used to that healthy food. Everything else, man, he puts that food away. Like he's got like Bruce Lee speed when it came to that stuff. I mean, Lily, Mike, in order for someone to take those workouts seriously, he's going to have to film from the ground up so he looks like he's taller. I've never seen an Oompa Loompa workout video. Hey, Lily, that's a new big hot thing. Oompa Loompa. Like, he's got the Oompa Loompa video. Look, Oompa Loompa's doing ab crunches. I can see that. I mean, we still love you, Rye, though. All 4'4" of you. Just so you guys know, look, I actually got he ain't got the hair though. Yeah, I got a life-size version of Rye. So you guys can see. Legs are proportionate to Rye's legs and about the same size arms. The only difference is this thing's got hair and Rye doesn't. But like, look, this is a life-size Rye. So like the Rye workout video would be like that, like ab crunches and all that. It's Rye trying to do crunches. The sit-up Ryes. Life-size Rye. Yeah, he's 5'8", standing on 2 milk crates. He was the one that created that milk crate challenge, really, just so he could stand up. You know what really sucks? When you go to the theme park with Rye, because the only thing you can go to is the kiddie land, man, because you can't ride no roller coasters with Rye. You get up there and they're like, you can't let that kid on there. He doesn't meet the height thing. So, but hey, that's good. If you're scared of roller coasters, go to the theme park with Rye because you ain't got to worry about riding any of them. He's not the only scary ride he's getting on is teacups. Three apples high. I think we hurt his feelings. I think he jumped off here. He flopped over the milk crate when he's DJing behind that equipment. Yeah. He just sets the equipment on the floor, Lily. Leave poor Rye alone. You do got to be careful, Lily, though. Rye knows about like wax on, wax off, and paint the fence. He knows the crane, and let's send him some Taco Bell. No, Taco Bell sounds good. I did show you guys like my neighborhood when you Google to do the food search. There's nothing out here. It was funny. Rye called me one day. He was like, "Hey, I think I might have found somebody." And then when I told him your address, they're like, they couldn't even find it on the map because he was trying to send something back. So Patty B says, I'm only 4'11". That's fine, Patty. You're a lady. Rye's a. That, and the other thing, too, you guys are forgetting, Rye's adding the height. He's adding the hat, but he stacks his hats like kind of like that, where it's like the Elmer Fudd style of hat, where it's sitting way up high. He doesn't pull his hats down. He got it Elmer Fudded out. So his favorite hat's the Abraham Lincoln hat, that 10-gallon hat. But yeah, guys, that's one of the reasons too, though, guys, why some of the stuff like the metal things, I don't carry the little galvanized pieces on my shop. I mean, I might if people really want them, but I mean, the downside is I got to upcharge for what I'm getting them for, and most people have a Hobby Lobby in their area, so if they didn't yet, it'd be worth it. But most of them have them, so it's not really a benefit to me to carry something that I'd have to upcharge. That's why, like on the butcher paper and all that, I always post a link down below. You can buy butcher paper from Amazon. That's where I buy mine, and it's super cheap there. So I'm not going to tell you to go buy from me and upcharge, like charge you $1 more. I'll usually try to find you guys links if it's something that I don't carry and that I can save you guys money. Like I said, downside, you got to go get them. But now here's the cool thing about them galvanized pieces. Right before Christmas, they run sales on their Christmas items. That falls into the Christmas item. I mean, they're already $3.99 for 50. So now it drops it down to like, I think it's almost half off. So that's like $2, $1.99 roughly, whatever, half of that. So like awesome price for what that is. All right, peeps, I have to get some sleep. Waldo, let's chat soon. Take care. Well, yeah, let's definitely do that, Mike. Yeah, I'm getting ready to, Mike, in a few minutes to hop off because it's 10 o'clock here now. I got on late because I was working on other stuff and out in the, I wouldn't say yard. I was out in the fields bush hogging and doing some dozer work and getting things straightened up for pew season. So thanks a lot, Mike. Great to have you. Guys, go check Mike's channel out too if you guys haven't already. It is very awesome. And if you guys love toys, dude, he's got almost every toy you can think of. He does reviews. He has a toy store. It's a comic book store. It's like every kid's dream job. Check him out, guys. I need your tractor. Yeah, I've got 2 tractors, Matt. They're not brand new, man. I've had them a while. And then the other one that I got recently, I mean, it's an older model. Tractors aren't, for as little as I use it, man, it's a pretty pricey thing. But it's worth having them if you need. I mean, you can do a lot with them. Like I said, other one's got the bucket on it. It's got hydraulics on the back also, so you can hook up other implements and all that. I run bush hogs, graders, but it helps. Like I got to have it for my road. If I didn't, it'd bankrupt me to try to keep that road level. But I mean, great graveling, it still sucks. It's like I said, half mile, 3/4 mile total on the pass, and it's up a steep hill. And then keeping the 52 acres kind of chopped down and then cut for hay and all that, all the other stuff you do, it can take a little while. So without a tractor, it's not push mowable acceptable. So like I said, it definitely helps. And like I said, the reason why I have 2, it seems like whenever you have one running, that one will go down, and then the backup one you're using, and then vice versa. It seems like you can't keep them running. I mean, they work great. They've held up forever, but yeah, like Mike just said, it sucks without one. Like, the crazy thing, Mike, I've gone years without, like I've had one and my tractor messed up and then never had time to fix it. By the time I got around to fixing it, I've already like paid a year or 2 years. People mow and bush hog it. So yeah, like it is almost impossible. Like I tried push mowing it before. I've tried riding it with my zero turn. And even with the zero turn with I think it's like 52 or 64 inch deck, it ain't happening, man. It takes one, it takes too much gas, and it's just too much time. It's not even acceptable with that. Although, how much is your shipping? Are there? How much is your shipping? They are asking. What is your approximate shipping on the tumblers? It goes by weight, Patty. So let me do this. Give me 1 second, and I will give you an answer. Because I do have the website pulled up on my phone. Got 102 websites opened up. It seems like I hate closing things when I see something or need it. All right, so let me get the tumblers. I gotta go back a page. Sorry about missing that, Patty. I didn't see it. For some reason, I missed that comment. But so here we go. What I'm going to do is I'll give you a rough idea. Because the shipping is the same. It's a weight thing. And so everyone in the United States pays the same. So what I'm going to do is add one to the cart, and I'll give you an idea of just what one costs, and I'll give you an idea of what like 5 cost. Okay, so shipping on 1 is $10.75. So I'll go through each one. Shipping on 2, $10.75. Shipping on 3, $10.75. Shipping on 4, yeah, the crazy thing, $10.75 for 4. The crazy thing on cases, that's your best bet because case pricing, you do pay a little bit more for the case. So we're going to do 10 tumblers and see what it says real quick because everything's been $10.75 up till then. So 10 tumblers are $17 for the shipping for 10 of them. So let me go back and do 6. For 6 tumblers, it's $10.75 for shipping. So let me see. I'll find the number where it changes. There's a number because, like I said, it's a weight thing. And so we use this weight calculator thing, and it just, for 7 of them, it's $10.75. I think it's going to be 8 or 9. Well, for 8, it's $10.75. So it's going to be, I think it might have been 10 was the magic number. No, it was actually 9. So for up to 8 of them, it's $10.75 for shipping. If you order 9, it's $17 for shipping. Because what it does is it changes the class that it has to be in. And so it's all class rated on the shipping. And that's anywhere in the USA. We've even shipped to Alaska. And on that one, lost my butt on shipping, but we honor our pricing on it and we still ship it. So yeah. I don't remember how much I paid. Yeah, and like the crazy thing too, we used to be a little bit cheaper. What makes it bad is like USPS and the Postal Service keeps, or the USPS is the Postal Service, and then UPS and FedEx and all them keep going up. And so all I do is use their online calculator thing, and that's what we use to ship it. So when they go up or they add surcharges, it just gets passed on. Like I said, I don't make money on shipping really. It's and on some of it we lose because we use their average shipping. So when it goes, let's say, a Cali from here, the factor is technically off when we put it into the system. So some of it I'm losing, some of it, if it was like shipped into the state of Kentucky here, I'd be making money because it's the zonal one. But when it jumps into the other zones is where it changes. But yeah, the shipping does vary a little bit. And then like here, I'll tell you how much a case is because that's on my other page. So let me remove all of these. 0 update cart. And so a case, and I only got 3 in stock, and I think there's 4. Good, think I'm in Kentucky. Oh yeah. So you're in there. So like the Kentucky thing. So why didn't it show? Oh, I gotta hit the view cart. It's crazy. I don't use my phone to tell you that much. Yeah. So a case is 25 to ship, and there's 25 in a case. So it jumps from 17 to 25 to ship. A case weight ends up being 17 and a half pounds without the packing around it. Ends up being about 20 something pounds when it's out into the thing. 17 by 17 by 10 the boxes. The reason I know that, there's a little tab right there because we move a lot of them, so I know that size. 2 cases are 17 by 17 by 20. But yeah, a good thing too, Patty, like most stuff we ship that day or the next day it goes out. So we're fairly quick at getting things out. Like I said, them aluminum things or them galvanized plates, I would have sold them, but like to me, there's no need to keep stuff secret on that. It's easier just to kind of spread the word and let other people go get them because they're so cheap that someone would have jumped on a video and said, "Hey, I know where you're getting them from, anyways." So pass it on. I have thought about making round ones, so because I mean, you got the ornaments that people are buying anyways. And I have thought of having them powder coated so that you do have the white base on it so that it's sublimatable that way. But then I'd have to charge a little bit more. So I'm undecided. I might do something like that. But the galvanized ones, man, I just pass it. That's like these. What I tell people, this wood for a 4x8 sheet. I don't have the calculator in front of me, or the tape measure in front of me to give you the measurements. It's like a something 30 seconds. So it's like a little bit more than an 1/8 inch. I think it's 11 seconds or something like that. But anyway, that sheet's only $10. So you can go buy that sheet. You can cut a ton of these out. Because like I said, I bought that sheet and I made cupcake holders for my bakery. So literally, I took the wood and I cut it so I can set cupcakes in to transport them. Then we had little wood legs underneath it so that you could stack them on top. So you could ship cupcakes like when we go to shows or whatever, or we would do fair events or whatever. So we could stack a bunch of cupcakes without smashing all the icing and all that. And these were jumbo cupcakes, some big old honkers. So big cupcakes, big things, but you could put them in Tupperware bins and all that and move them and it wouldn't shift or mess up the cupcakes because it supported it where the cupcake itself sits in that hole and it locks it into it. And these were leftover. So what I ended up doing is I keep a lot of things like that because I'm like, hey, I can use these. Like, and here's the thing. I didn't clean the back up good because I didn't plan on using these. This is just the laser debris. If you put tape over the back, it prevents that. You can sand it off too. But so, and then I was like, hey, I can laser them to do Christmas ornaments. I can use them for coasters. I can use them for a lot of things. So I kept them, and literally, you can see I did coasters to show people how to make coasters, round coasters. But like I said, you can use them for Christmas ornaments. I've done Christmas ornaments with them. You just put the hole in the top, drill it if you didn't have them, you don't have a laser. You can do quite a bit with them. So like I said, that's what it is, guys. Like I said, so if you get one of them little, was it $200 to $500 lasers that Lily was asking about? Yeah, Lily, I have at one time I had I think 6 or 7 lasers. I think I've got. Give me a second. I think I got 3 or 4 functioning lasers still that I use. They're for different things, different kind of lasers, like fiber lasers, a YAG laser, and a CO2 laser. And then I've got RF sealed CO2 lasers, which are the metal casings. They just last a lot longer, and you got servos in them. But yeah, Lily, I got a few lasers. And like I said, you can do stuff like that, even with the cheap one. I thought of, like, I've got some Chinese lasers. I've got American made lasers. I've tested a bunch. Lasers are, depending what you're needing. If you're on stepper motors, they're all pretty much the same. What's up, Stephanie Brown? How's it going? How's it going, everybody? Sorry, some of these names look familiar. So, well, you didn't miss much, Rye. Just me. You guys have fancy stand for your microwaves. Oh, is it just wow? Wow. That Rye needs that stand because look, that's a podium height for Rye. He can use that as a talking podium. That true. Waldo said them too. Sad part, we all laughed. You sell these pieces of wood? Actually, Patty, no. I guess I could cut them out. It's not hard to do. Like the crazy thing, like, I'll find one right here. Maybe I won't find one in this bunch. There are some because there are some where the wood is janky on the side because what it is the rate. I wasn't cutting to keep these. I was cutting to save the other piece. So like if there was like a little burr, or like here, wood is laminated, and you can see that upper corner right there. It split that. It doesn't look bad, but so literally I just yanked it out because literally I kept these. I didn't have a plan for them when I did, but where everyone calls me the hoarder and all that stuff, it paid off because these are very useful later on. And so I had my cupcake holders, and then I had these, and I had hundreds of these left over. I even have big ones because we did cakes that way too, to transport cakes. When you do wedding cakes and all that, you need something to hold the bases. To keep it from moving and all that, especially if you're trying to go back countries like we got around here. So yeah, that stuff does have purposes. And like I said, these are just debris things left over. I've got some of the normal size cupcakes, so they're like a 2.5 inch. I want to say a normal cupcake is 2.5 inch, a lot smaller ones. The standard cupcake, they look good. These, like I said, work perfect for coasters though, because like I said, there's a drink. I can't flip it up to show you because there's loads of fluid in it still, so I want to dump on here. But what's up, Jesse? So that is the point of the size of, like, it was just for the cupcake, but it works out perfect for coasters. You can cut them rectangle. A lot of people do. And the crazy thing, you cut rectangles out of them around the corners, then you're even getting more out of the sheet because here there's debris that's left here that's not being used. When you cut them the other way, you're using more of the wood. So you can do the rectangle ones like other people sell. But the other thing too, you can cut them round. You can also, once you cut them, you can buy some cork, and then you can stick direct to film to cork. Like I said, you can buy the cork though, guys. Glue it to the back, cut it out around there, and now you have that non-slip because it's that cork back. So then it looks even better. Cork back stuff's cheap also, and just use the 6000 series AS6 or whatever glue. That bonds almost anything. Super glue will bond them. Glue guns will bond them. Yeah, bunch of stuff you can use and check that out. Where'd you get that hat, Stephanie Brown? As this is Vega print, right there. Vega 23. This is Vega's logo. He's got a YouTube channel also. Vega's a good friend of mine. And usually if people send me stuff, I do wear it. This is my clothing, one of my clothing brands. It's for my Detroit brands. Yeah, this is great puff. They did a great job on it. It's Vega 23 hat. Vega sent me some stuff. So it was just I don't know who's doing his embroidery. He's got someone there, but it was just something. Good friend of mine. He has a shop, YouTube channel. So he's in Arizona. So literally I support him and I'll wear his products that he sends me. There's his, he's also got an Instagram. There is his Instagram link also, guys. Check him out too if you haven't. Rye does hats too, though. So if you need hats, Lily, but don't have melt crates. What brings full works? Wires. Well, I said that because you make yourself look taller. I went to Target to buy a milk crate. I think it's milk crate. Lady said, "Is that for the TikTok?" I was offended by that comment. Yeah, Vega does. He's got some good work done. Hey, something you missed Lily and something you missed Rye, just because I mean it was way earlier. But here's one of my other directed films that I was going to show and print on the thing. That's one of my other ones. That's the Sesame Street play off of styles. As you can see, I play off of a lot of styles. G.I. Joe, Sesame Street. Yeah, I saw Rye working on embroidery a couple days ago. Yeah, it takes Rye forever. No. Yeah, but yeah, hit Rye up if you like. Rye, are you accepting customers still? Right, I believe so. If you need some, Stephanie, I can't give Rye's information out because he doesn't authorize me to. Rye, if you want to put a link down to wherever they can get in contact with you, Rye, go ahead. You should make a Buckeye. Man, screw them Buckeyes, Rye. I'm about to unfriend you now that you said that. Man, a Buckeye is a nut. And then their stadium is a toilet bowl, man. Like, that's horrible. Yeah, I do direct the film, Stephanie. I have a pretty big machine. I've got like a 24-inch wide dual head machine. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? Just take the right at the head to Detroit. Right and head to Detroit, yeah. Yeah, I had to make directions because where I'm at, they can't find me here. So, yeah, I've got some other ones too. We've got some that play off the Verner's pop and all that. So, yeah. And like I said, that was brought up earlier. We explained out the whole thing about the transfers. But, like, yeah, Stephanie, were you asking about the transfers? Like, I got videos. This one will drop tomorrow, the video. I've had it. Yeah, you got everything. Well, thank you, Patty. I got a bunch of there's things I don't have, but I don't have flatbed printer or big flatbed printers anyways. I do got the small one, but this is direct to film. So you can put direct to film on coasters and get the white ink, and this stuff ain't coming off. You just clear coat over it so the wood doesn't get wet. And then you can do the full colors. And this is super cheap to do this also. Marnie got to go. Yeah, great having you, Marnie. I'm glad you stayed on this. I didn't know you were on this whole time. Got to go. We'll listen to the rest during the week. The good thing, Marnie, I'm actually probably going to hop off in a few minutes also. It's been 2 hours and 20 minutes. Street lights have been on, and street lights mean it's bedtime for me. No, I don't have street lights out here, luckily. But, yeah. But thank you so much, Marnie, for coming on here. And then get in touch with me, Marnie, when you're doing the laminate thing. Let me know how it goes, and I'll try to give you a hand on that. And then I'll keep you informed, Marnie, on this stuff. Like I said, it's going to be pretty soon. I'm going to tweak a few things. Yeah, Levi, it's the where's Waldo, can you find him thing. And like I said, it actually works. There it is. The where's Waldo. But yeah, like I said, I do a lot of things. I've messed with nice. I was at the ISS show last month. With JBM and saw all the embroidery and DTG and DTF equipment. Yeah, like I know, like, was it it's not Kingdom Print, the other guy that was there at the thing. We've talked to him a bunch. Like I said, I've had printers. I know where they all get all their stuff from. Like I said, I got a huge case here of direct to film ink. We're talking liters of this stuff. Like these size, there's a whole box of that. This is half this box is just white. Then I think I got the other half is blue cyan, and then that's it. It's just the case. I've got other cases though at the other shop. This is just the overflow. But yeah, I've tried them all. Tried all their stuff, and like I said, I import. I forget how many gallons it was. I imported a bunch, so I got it super cheap. Waldo, I need like a 1-inch ghost and pumpkin cutout. I asked Juan, but I think he's busy. Let me know if you have time to make it, what it would cost. What do you mean 1 inch? Like this? Like, because that's only 1 inch. That small? Like an earring size, Lily? Because you're doing earrings, right? Do you want, you wanting it out of wood, Lily, or what are you wanting it out of? Sorry for the delay. This is the only weird thing about like the comment thing, because it takes a while, and then the latency where I'm at, sometimes it can take a while. Hey guys, if you're new too, check out Levi Apparel, check out Rye Beats, check out Mike the Entrepreneur. They all do great channels, guys. Check out the Print House. Sorry, I get tongue twisted on some of these things. I'm trying to read a bunch. Yeah, making earrings, Waldo. Wood is fine. I have epoxy. Those are going to be cute. So, do you want wood, Lily, though, or do you want other material? I'm trying to think what else. Like, you could cut it into plastics, also, kind of like where, if you remember the, but the downs, like, are you gonna paint them? I see you're epoxying, or you're doing epoxy and glitter. So, are you gonna just, I guess, hand paint them, Lily? Is that kind of what you're gonna do to put the ghost in there? Which do you think? What do you think? Cold laminate machine, 26-inch wide, 300, or hot and cold laminator machine? Honestly, I would go cold laminator for the simple fact as most of your stuff, like even if you're doing vehicle wraps and all that, you're using cold laminator on it. You're just top laminating it. Hot laminators do have things, like they do have advantages, but like, for instance, a hot laminator, you can laminate, like this is hot laminate film on here. So hot laminating film, if you're doing menus or something all day long, yeah, you got to use hot laminating film, or you don't have to, but it gives it that more rigid laminate, especially if you went with like the 3mm laminate on the hot laminate. Man, that's a lot of laminate words, but the crazy thing, like if you're doing any laminate like this, you can heat press the laminate onto that, and it's going to bond. And then the price that you're saving by going with a cold laminator, it's like insane. Like you can go with like for the price of that 26-inch wide one, you can get one here in the States, and this is like staging you can get it on Amazon. There's a few different ones. You can get an electric automated one, 54-inch. It's like, don't quote me on it, it's like 54-inch. So I think it's right around that size because it's wider than your media. Your media is going to be about 52. So it's like a 54-inch for, I think it's $1,800. You can get a hand cranked one for 600. So if you want to crank it, like Marnie's got a hand cranked one, smaller size. But if you don't mind doing the hand cranking, man, you can't go wrong with that either. Most people started with that. I started with the hand crank one. I've got an electric one now, but and then I'm also the new shop. I'm going to have a video on how to take one of these $600 hand crank ones, build the table and put it on rails, and have a full automated one. So that you literally just pull it across, and that's equivalent to the machines that sell for between 8 to 10 grand or 8 to 12 grand, depending which ones you buy. So yeah, Levi, I wouldn't go with the hot one, Levi, unless you need, because like your stickers, you don't need hot laminate really. There are people that will put it on there, but it's really not cold laminate work. That's all my vehicle wraps that we do is cold laminate. I don't put hot laminate on any of that stuff. So yeah, I wouldn't go with the hot. I mean, and then you don't have to use the heat though. Like you can use the heat on a cold laminate and just turn it down. But I wouldn't go. I would just stick with the cold laminate for the price that you're saving, and just I would go with the automated one, for instance, instead of the hand crank if it's in the budget, so that you're not going to be, because it's not hard hand cranking it. You just, if you're trying to feed it and support the back in your hand cranking, then you're going to get in a weird consistency. But even then, you get used to it. Where the electric one, you're just going to hold the back feet of it and let it slide through. So I would go that way. Okay, now Lily says, yeah, hand paint. Well, Amazon has a pack of different colored acrylic material sheets. They are awfully small sheets for $30. Not sure how much that would come out for the package. 6-pack of 12 by 12. Like I got some other stuff, Lily, too, that might work too. There's different ways to do it. Like I see the downside if you do a 2-color one, you still have to find a way to put them together if you separated them. Like if the ghost was white and the pumpkin was orange, you got to find a way to make them too. If you use orange plastic and white plastic, you got to find a way to make it join together. There are ways too, though, Lily. Like you can take, here's a cool thing. Give me a second. I'm trying to think if I got some down here. I think I do. Don't look at my rye casts. Thought I had some. It's not here, but things are falling. But here's what you can do, Lily. I don't have it here. Sorry about that. If you cut a smaller than 1 inch from the stud, you can chain them together. Yeah, you could do that, Lily. Yeah, I don't go. I used to go out in shorts and all that, and ever since the surgery, my legs all been like slice in the back. And when you have like a scar, you don't want to get it in the sun. It can cause cancer. And so ever since then, like, I mean, there's stuff that you can put on it, prevent it, but so I don't put my legs out in the sun anymore. Too bad. I wish I found that thing. Now I'm gonna scoot over so y'all can't see my legs. You know, the thing is there's one thing I'm looking for. Found it. There's that box there. Cancer. I don't know. I didn't know that. Yeah, they suggest that scars because the skin is different from where it rolls up through and all that. A scar can get skin cancer easier. So here's what you can do too, Lily. This is just a quick little idea here. So what you can do is you can cut them out of wood. So you can cut it in the shape like that. A banana and pickle. No comments. I know that probably looks horrible like that. But look, so you can put the loop there. Well, then what you can do is if you cut it in wood and you laminate them with the wood laminate, like I said, so you can spray paint it white if you wanted. So you could laminate it. Neither I walk around with scars from my ex left from my heart. Sorry, Lily. That's so back to the laminate thing. So if you cut it out of wood, you can either spray paint it white, you can leave it wood color, and then if you laminate it and cut the laminate out, you can sublimate it and turn it into. So yeah, that would be like the earring made out of wood, just like that. So that's the other option too. Cut it in the thin wood, laminate it, sublimate it. So then you can make like the ghost multi-colors. You can get all the detail in it. And then like literally like, so if you have this string, it would hang just like that, Lily. There you go. So like I said, and of course that hole you'd want to beef it up just a tad bit. But like I said, so if you went with the wood and laminated it, you could sublimate them. They do have smaller metal pieces that are sublimatable. But yeah, and this is way bigger, but this is just showing you because these are air fresheners that we were doing. You sublimate both sides, and then this is just one of them old laces that I had from the material. But yeah, so like I said, you can supplement, you can paint it. Like I said, and of course, more bananas and pickles air fresheners. Look, you can go this flavor. Focus on the thing, not me. So you could go dill pickle, fragrant oil, and I smell this one right here. The banana. This smells like Laffy Taffy banana. Tastes like it too, but no, don't eat it. I can make that exorcist earring. I guess you could. I don't know what the extra like. Yeah, you could make any earring look like anything when you sublimate it. UV print. Yeah, you could UV print them too, Mike. We were talking about because Lily wanted to sell them and make them. So I was just showing her ways to make them with the equipment she has. Not my equipment. I mean, my equipment, I can do it that way, Mike. I really haven't messed with that UV printer much. It's just sitting there. But yeah, so like I said, that's how, and like this stuff I've had sitting around forever. Like I said, we used to send some of these out so people can see it. Like I said, here's the thing. When you laser cut this, you can adjust your feed. If your feed rate's off a little bit, you do get a little scoring on the side. Not bad, but you do get some scoring. But it's nothing bad. They don't feel bad. The color's not bad because you're actually just melting it. And so, like I said, but that's how people are making these big air freshener things. They're adjusting the speeds out though. But like I said, this is stuff. Like I said, Did a bunch of them. These are all blanks. Just to show you guys how it's done. This is just a bunch of speaker wires, earphone buds, and other useless stuff. Or not useless, but stuff just pitched in there. Waldo, why buy it? Why buy it and not mess with it? What's the price for the direct to film printer doing it yourself? Well, like that's the one that Mike's talking about. That board's gonna crack. That printer he's talking about, I've got a UV printer also that can print on stuff like that. The problem is like I gotta tweak it a little bit more, and I don't have time to really tweak it every time. I just bought that printer just to do videos for you guys, so you could see what it looks like on a cheaper printer, what they have and what you get with one of them. My direct to film I use all the time for my other testing and all that, and eventually the direct to film will be sold to the public. We're getting ready to launch it hopefully this week or next. But yeah, some of the other, this is the one I was looking for earlier. Man, I don't know where it popped up, but you can see the splitting out of the wood there. This was the one I got kind of rushed. I'll get my face out of it so we'll focus on this. Yeah, so that you can see right there when you rush. Just stopping in to say hi. Got a dance floor. I mean, you got a dance floor every morning, Mike, or every weekend. Mike is killing it on these dance floor wraps, guys. Check them out too, guys. Check Mike's page out. Nova Works. Like, subscribe, and follow him, guys. Help him get up there. We need to get him some more views and followers, guys. But Patty, I need some snowman shaped wood for ornaments. Yeah, I mean, it can be done. It's just I got to sit and draw it up in the shape because it's got to be a DXF file. But yeah, it's possible, Patty. It's just sitting, drawing it up, and then loading the wood up. Like I said, there is thinner wood. Like this stuff here is used for underlayment, so it's actually fairly straight. The problem is that when you do laser, you can get some that warp and curve. There's no way around it. It's just how it's the nature of the beast. But yeah, that was stuff, like I said, it was all this stuff is stuff to show people. Some of it we produce things with, but we never really took them to market with. This is some of the stuff why I say I don't, and this stuff is just here at my house here, but that's why I say I don't let too many people in the main shop because of that. We've got stuff sitting around that we are taking to market that we don't want people to see or copy or duplicate until we get it to market. So, but yeah, I need some snowman shape. We have to do that. Mike, have a great night. It's so satisfying watching him wrap them dance floors. You should see me cut a rug. I can dance. Cabbage Patch, where you at, Rye? The sprinkler. I messed that up big time. The plunge, I'm going down big time. I'm lost. No. What if we buy the DXF files already made? People sell files on Etsy. Them guys are scam artists. Man, I'm nothing against that, but man, I think I've bought DXF files once in my life, and that was for stuff like when we were plasming out like bumpers or something for a car where they had all the pin points or the hinge points marked out for us because I didn't have that vehicle to market to check. But like shapes, man, I hate when people charge that because they charge an outrageous price. DXF is just a silhouette. So literally you can take a black image from Photoshop and then literally, or not from Photoshop, from online, throw it into Illustrator and have it contour trace, turn it to a vector DXF file. DXF Snowman. Or you can do that right there. Google it like I just did. And then you can hit images. And you can literally see, or it's actually going to be a vector image. DXF is a converted file. Vector Snowman file. I said snowman because I know you said the other one, Lily, but silhouette snowman vector.
Check out these pictures.
There you go. So that was a quick way after it took me a second to think how to describe it. And then you can click the vector image button also. Let me just click this. And so literally, you got to remember too, like this fat one right here would not work on a cut because you got to have black touching everything. So where it's not touching, that wouldn't work. But these top ones, they would work. And you could sublimate that. I wouldn't probably put the hands because the wood being that thin is going to cause it to fracture and break when you do thin pieces that small. But you could do ones like this bottom one here where my thumb's at. You can do stuff like that. I found some with Myers and Demon Nuns for 95 cents. What are Myers with? I know I'm saying, was it Mirrors and Demons? I found some. Because see, what you're needing, Lily, is like here's the cool thing. Let me do it this way. Halloween vector photos.
Pictures of Halloween. Here you go.
So here's Michael Myers. So here's the thing, and these are all free, but I don't want it to download on my phone though. See, so what you could do is like these are outlined, these are silhouette, these are what you'd be cutting with the laser. You'd cut the outside. So what you would need is you can do it like this. Let me try to find one. We're not going to find what I want. Let me do it this way. Michael Myers vector photos. Kind of like what I did with my stuff here. Oh, Nikes. Yeah, like here's a good thing. Okay. Let me do the image so I don't bump and hit the wrong thing. Like this one, which this is Etsy, but so like this one right here with the house and all that. What you would have to do is fill that all in, and so that you could sublimate just the black. But you could do that. You just have to have the outside done. So it's kind of like that banana that I cut. This is the same banana that goes on there. So I just outlined this whole thing and filled it in, and then you'd make the color part for the rest. That's how that one's done. So like here's a perfect example. This one right here. You would take that image and fill it all in black. And then you would cut that out, and then you would sublimate that centerpiece in there to print that. So then that would be the earring with the knife hanging down. And it would be almost something like this you would drop it into, though. So that's how you would do it, Lily. Because like I said, if you're just doing a solid image or a one color image, and the wood, you're cutting it out. That's what you got to remember. Patty on Amazon, they sell small wood cutouts. Yeah, Patty, like, I mean, I can cut you these, Patty. There are some online cheaper. Hey, B and Pam, how's it going? I would not buy, I mean, there are people on Etsy selling, don't buy that from there. Nothing against it. Some of the other followers sell them. I don't have nothing against that. But here's the thing. Like, if you're just wanting the blanks and you're going to laminate them all yourself, you can get them fairly cheap. And I'll do a quick Amazon search. I mean, I can cut them. It just depends on what size you want. Because that means I got to go get more wood and cut it. And like I said, these, like, I never masked the back off. And as you can see, there's soot on there. Because that's part of when you cut it. Because I wasn't planning on keeping these for use per se. I was just keeping them for later on. 3-inch round wood coasters. Blank 3-inch round wood blanks. So here you go, Patty. Let me see how many is here before I say it. Okay, this is 50 pieces for $6.99. They're 2-inch round. So a little bit smaller. You can get 3-inch. Apparently, how I spoke a minute ago, didn't hear me correctly. They're even sold with the desiccate pack, which that means that just keeps the moisture out. So when they're shipping them, but yeah, it's $6.99. I don't know if I could even do them that cheap, to be honest with you. I mean, a 2-inch I might be able to, but so like I said, there are ones out there. Like I said, so on that you would just laminate them and trim them, and you're good to go. Check the thickness, make sure it can kind of handle the heat, because they've got other. Here you go. They got the 16-inch. Oh, they make them up to even 16-inch on here. But like I said, and then some people's got like, there's loads of them on there. And so like I said, you can find pretty much what you're looking for on them, and they're going to be cheaper. Like I said, it's not that I don't want to sell them, but I would rather you guys find way save money. I mean, honestly, I mean, like if it's, and I've thought about putting these on there because, like, I mean, I know other ones, like I said, are selling the coasters, the rectangle ones and all that coated. I can do that. I might put them on my other store. It's just something too, though. It's like them metal hangers that I was showing you. You can get them so cheap. I really hate trying to oversell a product that is going to cost me more to make. It's kind of like this. And I'll explain it this way. When I got in the mask business, when I first started doing the mask, literally I was using other people to sew them. Well, what it was, it ended up literally that the amount of time that it was taking them to sew them, they couldn't produce enough for me in time. And the other thing too, the amount, when they looked at the amount per hour they were making for their self, was little to nothing. So what I ended up telling them, I was like, hey, I've got vendors that do cut sew for me overseas. Let me get a price from them. So like for me, it ended up being even cheaper for the mask. And then they were able to order masks also, because now they can actually spend time. Because like here in the States, so let's say minimum wage is $7.25. If you're only able to knock out, let's say 10 or let's say 7 an hour, because that's simple math. Now so each one of the masks, I got to pay you $1 to pay you minimum wage. So now that's not including material. So let's say the material was $3. So now I'm at $10. And so now let's say there's a scrap or anything else or sewing and material. It ends up making more sense to buy the product than to make it yourself on that part, like on the mask. So it's cheaper for me to have overseas make it in Pakistan, that the cost per hour is cheaper per rate. So they're able to produce cheaper, same quality mask, actually a better mask, and they give me a better price that I can pass the savings on. So the same thing with this, like if you can find them cheaper, I personally would go that way. I mean, I have lasers where I cut them out myself. Depends on what my time's like. Because if it's going to take, let's say for me, let's say an hour to do them all, and I can get them for the same price online, I'm going to go with the online price for this simple fact. For one, if I needed more, they can get me higher quantities of them. The other advantage is that means I can use my laser for something else. Like in general, when we price laser jobs, it's between 60 to 80 an hour. When someone brings us something that they want lasered, that's kind of how we factor it, because that's roughly what we got to make per hour for the laser. Because the other thing too, lasers, when you cut stuff, you're using the gas that's in that tube. So if you've got one for your own, you got to factor that gas too, because eventually you're going to have to buy another tube. Some things it's worth doing your own. Like I said, if you got a laser, like what, for instance, them earrings that Lily wants to do, yeah, that would be worth buying a laser to do them, even if you're cutting the wood, because you're not going to find that wood templates of the ghost and the pumpkin online, or the blanks online. The other ones, it's worth it. Long day, Busch Gardens with my child. We had a great time. That is awesome, Pam. I'm glad you had a good day. I haven't been to a theme park like Busch Gardens Six Flags, any of them in a long. I used to love theme parks. It's been forever. Got new orders from the girls and boys soccer team for breast cancer awareness, long sleeve and short sleeve. That is awesome, Pam. Pam is killing these orders, guys. You guys got to check her out when she finally does all videos on this because she's doing awesome. But yeah, like I said, and like some things are worth doing. Some things are better. Like if you can't find them cheap enough, Pam, or if you're having problems finding them, hit like down below. I got my email. Anyone can email me. I'll answer back. It's fairly quick. Sometimes it's quicker than others. Sometimes I don't see it. Sometimes it goes into the junk filter. But message me and I'll try to answer. Like I said, I don't mind carrying products. I don't know what people want all the time either. It's just one of the things too, though. I know I'm waiting for the video. I just been asking for some. Yeah, I know, Lily. We've both been asking Pam to make some videos. So, but that's what I was saying, though, Patty. It's like some things, like I said, is worth making. Other things, like I said, if I can help people and they can find it, that's fine with me. That's why I always tell people too. That's why I put things in the links below, and I'll try to find some good pricing on the 3-inch for you and put it in the link below, because that way too is you get a cheap price, and as long as you click that link, they give me whatever percentage of the sales when people order through the affiliate thing. So I'm content with that. I've always told people, by people ordering off the affiliate, believe it or not, I'm getting money off of that. So some of that, like I said, the butcher paper, I'm never going to sell butcher paper like some of the other people do. I think it's stupid too. I can't get it cheap enough. I can tell you where to get it cheap. And I can't mark it up and make enough to make me I could rather sell a shirt or a mask that I can mark up that I'm reasonably priced compared to butcher paper. And so by people buying it, they give me the percentage. I haven't found any yet. When I get my mug press, I'm going to make a video. It's going to be called Sublimation for Dummies. What about the silicone mats made of ghosts and pumpkins? What do you mean silicone mats made of the ghosts and pumpkins? Silicone is a tricky thing. I've done some casting in some videos showing how to make molds for. Oh yeah, you could do it that way. I didn't think. My mind just slipped a blank. Yeah, that's another way, Lily. You can actually do the acrylic casting, so you can make you a mold. If you remember that video that I did with the pew pew grips, because I can't say that on there, you can make a silicone mold and then make that. If you remember, I don't know if you've seen that video, Lily, but I make pew pew grips and or BB gun grips, we'll call them. But I did the showing how to make the mold itself. I actually made the mold, and then they're castable grips is what I did. So you could actually do it that way too, Lily, and then just do the colored acrylic that you pour in there, and it would work perfect. I forgot about that. Didn't think about that. And I made a video on casting acrylic, and I totally forgot about that. Amara, great for saying that. I didn't think one thing about that until she said that, and then until you said that, and then it made me really think. You can call as seen on TV on Juan's video or Waldo's video. Yeah. Hey, Lily will make great videos. I'm confident. I told y'all that I hate seeing myself on videos. LOL. I will make a video when I get my embroidery machine. And when I make this video, new order, I think that I'm going to do the shirts with vinyl. That's pretty cool, Pam. Honestly, this is one of the hardest things for me. I don't like being on TV as big as I am anymore. But the worst is talking and not having any vocal inputs. And then here's the thing, as you see, I hate reading. I'm dyslexic. It is one of the hardest things for me to, as you can see, I don't read it smooth, and I don't read the like how it would be said. And I probably sometimes I miss some of your guys' words because they're not popping in there for me when I see it. But yeah, I hate doing that. But it's one of the things that I do because it gets me over it. I mean, I've had people say, hey, your speech, which I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But it's something too, though. I find it helpful that it does help other people. So I don't mind as seen as 111. Lily, my videos were out before his. Patty, how thick does the wood need to be to sublimate? I think I found some. As long as it's strong enough to hold the, like I said, this is, I believe, 11-30 seconds. It's called underlayment. So if you Google, let me do that. Sorry, my wrist is hurt pretty bad. 4x8 sheets, underlayment, Home Depot. I think it's called, it's like, I want to say it's 11-30 seconds. It didn't pop up under the correct one. 4x8 sheet, underlayment plywood. Let me open it up, and actually this is 7:30 seconds. It's gone up a little bit. Yeah, 90 sheets. It's not letting me click the price. It's I don't have my calipers here either. It's fairly thin though. Awesome, Patty. I just found some, I think, to order. Thank you, Patty. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, thank you so much. Unfinished wood earring teardrop pendles, 100 pieces. Yeah, see, Lily, like I said, I used to buy all that stuff, like the shepherd hooks and all that. Not because I pierce people, but I used to make that jewelry. I used to use my laser a lot, and like I said, I showed you before all the jewelry I made. So I used to buy the clasp. I used to have the jewelry things. Actually, I'd buy the wire and even bend my own shepherd hooks just to do it. But yeah, it was some fun stuff. All I can think of is painting them white and then painting the stuff on the water slide paper on top of the epoxy. Yeah, you could water slide them too, Lily. It's weird because I can stand in front of a class full of students all day and talk on Zoom and record it. See, Pam, that's one thing. In school, I hated speaking in class. Even in college, I was already doing engineering work at other place. I hated getting in front and speaking to people. I had public speaking class, and literally, it was my probably where I hated getting in front there. Hated having to read off my notes or reading off a prompt or other things. I hated being in front of people speaking. Like now, here one of the nice things about here is it's just me, which is weird when you talk to yourself. Or like when I started doing YouTube videos, when I did like the sock video in Walmart, people really look at you funny when you walk around recording yourself. Here it's not as bad, but it kind of is because like every time I get on and do a live, I look at them numbers, and like right now I got 6. Peak tonight I think was 12. So that stuff runs through my mind. I'm like, hey, so and so had 10, so and so had 53, so and so had this number. And then I also look too when I first hop on. The number one fear that I always have is that no one's going to be on. And like I've had it where like I went 5 or 10 minutes and no one was on. Sometimes they comment, and what it is, this thing doesn't recording it correct, so I see nobody. That's the worst thing for me, Pam. It's like when no one's there for the feedback. You're like, like Home Alone. Like that makes me more where I'm like, man, because I kind of look. I got like friends that watch me, and I'm like in other states and even this state. And I'm like, man, no one wants to watch me or even talk or comment. So yeah, it does get to you some. Not sure how the sublimate will do. It could work, Lily. Like I said, it just depends on the thing. I'll try to figure out some other stuff, Lily, that might work for you also, and try to help you out there. I mean, the cool thing about the epoxy ones, though, you can make them a little bit thicker, so they got a little girth to them, and they got the cool more look. So it's you can also the cool thing too. You can buy 3-dimensional ones, Lily, so the pumpkin's actually fully round, and then on that you could cast the ghost separate, and then epoxy it to the other one after. I don't have photos on here to show you, but I actually on my staples and my ankle, I actually casted them in acrylic, 2-part epoxy acrylic, just so I would have them as a little paperweight thing. And I also cast some black widows that I caught. So yeah, okay, yeah. Everyone's what's up, Quick Color? How's it going? Hi, quick, bye bye. Good night. I failed public speaking. Failed the first day of class. Introduced yourself to the class. Nope, failed right then. Said AG double stock hockey stick. No. Well, Ryan, everyone's heading. I've been on for 3 hours. So what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna call it a good night. Also, thank you everyone for popping on. Lily, you got my like Instagram and I think you still got my number, Lily. All my other information. Message me, Lily, and I will try to figure a way out for you to actually kind of make what styles you're looking for. Do me a favor too, Lily. Send me the photos of the kind of the DXF ones that you were talking about, and I can maybe understand it more. Don't buy them though yet. Let me try to find you something because I hate people spending money, wasting money on stuff like that. But yeah, do that. Thank you so much, Patty. Thank you so much, Rye. Thank you so much, Lily. Thank you so much for everybody that's been on here. Like I said, it's 3 hours. I only drank half. It's 180 calories. So is that 80 calories? But I'm parched anyways, and it's getting late here, and I got some other stuff to do. But yeah, shoot me that email, Lily. Everyone else, like Patty, if you got any questions, drop me that email. I'll answer anyone if I get time. And I'm gonna figure out what to do about the giveaway, guys. I'm gonna do that giveaway. We got that 2,000 giveaway subscribers, so we'll do something on that too. I'll try to think this week of what to do, what to give out. Thank you, everyone. Waldo2413. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, guys. It's been great. Waldo, peace. I'm out. Hit the wrong button.